By the right of the council, by the will of the Force, you are back into another episode of everybody's favorite podcast about Star Wars and official canon members of the universe, because we just got off the Halcyon. This is Jedi Talk. Everybody, my name is Tom Oakrey, or Borel Ulrich, is the members of the Halcyon knew me as this past week. I am joined, as always, by my brother from another mother to my left, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you today?
Hello there, brother from another planet.
Brother from another planet.
Yeah.
Bantha from another Mantha.
Oh, I like that one. My character's name was Avant Rylus Varric. So just to recap that character's name.
Okay.
And that comes into play, as awesome as the Starcruiser is. I'm sure they mentioned your names, so...
Yes.
They addressed us by our names.
Yeah, they addressed us by our names, too.
Multiple times.
And I will reveal it later on in the show, because this is our spoiler-free edition right now. We're live on Facebook for your podcast listeners. And before I get into that, let me introduce the man directly across from me, who I was referring to as Pike Rendessa for the first half of this week, Brad Hughes. Brad, how the fuck are you?
Dude, I'm still coming down from the Starcruiser. It's real.
I'm hitting this vape pen because I'm coming off of the ecstasy. It's just I gotta get back up.
It was so overwhelming in the best possible way, and I can't wait to talk some spoiler-free stuff, and then we'll get into the spoiler-heavy stuff later on.
All right,
but I'm still exhausted.
So I'll go first because I want to be quick, right? Just like Kyle Cosentino in bed, quick. So what I want to do?
How do you know?
That's a good question.
I've clearly, my mother's told me, right? I mean, that's just jokes upon jokes
according
upon
to
jokes.
Kyle, your mother.
Yeah, the last time I talked to her before I cut her out of my life because she beat me on Kajimi.
He told that to a cast member, by the way.
I love that.
I did. The first thing
and they remembered it, too. I want to I keep talking.
I had a 1-800 number in the room by the time we got there for help.
The captain slid a thing under the news.
Was it Better Call, though? Was that kind of help? BetterHelp.com?
BetterHelp. No, I would never use those Kyle Cosentino hiring bastards. The funny thing is I do use them. So where are we going here? So let me start real quick, guys, for the spoiler-free edition, right? I'm going to say one thing. Brad, you heard me say this a few times. I shared it on social media when people asked me about the Halcyon.
Yep.
Halcyon.
Sometimes.
No, it was always Halcyon for us.
True. All the characters always say Halcyon.
Halcyon, yes.
But it's both. If you want it, I don't care. And I'm a huge canon. It has to be this way, but no, I don't care.
Tiny.
I look at it the way it's Halcyon. Halcyon is the same as Han, Falcon. It's the same thing.
I guess, but I'm training my brain to say Halcyon.
Me too.
I've been saying Halcyon.
Yes. So what I've been saying about it was, if there's a heaven, this was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's as simple as I'm going to put it. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is a must-do. It's worth the money. I go back to all the podcasts that we did beforehand. I said many a time that I never thought this was going to be worth the money, and I'm eating crow.
And that we were kind of expecting it to be like, it was really fun, but I don't know if it was $5,000,
$5,200,
$5,200 for two people.
After like 2 hours on board it, I was like, I'm booking another one.
Yep,
it just took like 2 hours. I was like, I'm in.
Us too. We were sitting there going like, this is going to be amazing to come back and experience this in a different way.
So many times Brad and I were just like, and there's still this to go.
Yep.
And there's still this.
There were some times, I can only remember vividly one time us sitting in the Sublight Lounge and being like, this is the first time we've had a few minutes to sit
breathe
here for a second.
Yeah.
And then as I'm saying
More
that,
so on day
Stormtroopers
two.
walked out.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
just like, oh my God, this doesn't stop. And it's great that it doesn't stop, but like, it's just wild. I can't wait to like talk spoiler stuff. But
so let's quick kick Facebook off and let's get into this shit.
Are we ready? Is that it? Is that everybody?
I mean, what do you think? Spoiler free thoughts. I know you gave a lot of them.
I've given 4 hours of spoiler free.
Yeah, and that's why I'm running today's show.
I could give another 4 days, but yeah, it's worth all the money. The character interaction alone is worth the money, because it's basically. I mean, Disneyland gets this stuff almost on a daily basis in their parks.
Fucking Scarlet Witch.
I guess if you're from Disneyland, maybe you'll be like, I'm used to this.
That's the
only
America Chavez.
We can't do a Marvel really here other than Guardians.
No, I know.
And we're not getting Star-Lord and Gamora. There's no way they're gonna have them walking around.
They were on stage with Josh D'Amaro.
Exactly, for media.
No,
for the media people. They don't care about us.
Star-Lord's been here.
Star-Lord's been here many times.
I met him in Groot.
In the past, yeah.
Yeah, but
we used to have walk-around characters on too, but we don't.
Oh.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So we're not getting walk around
gotcha.
characters anymore.
Gotcha.
So I guess
I
Disneyland.
thought you
people-
meant they couldn't have those characters here.
Oh, they can. They
I meant
should.
Star-Lord and Launch Bay, I think.
No,
Yeah.
it was one man's dream, wasn't it?
Was it?
That's-
He's
yeah.
right. One
In
man's
the
dream,
Mike
he's
and
right.
Mike and
He's right.
Sully area now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
That's what I was singing in my
My
head.
bad.
But anyhow, worth all the money, all the credits, whatever. It's worth all of that. Go with a group. Go with different people. And it's gonna be fun to see. I can't wait to see it with you guys because
Yep.
you've done it and I've done it, but I want to go with a different group and see
Yeah, I'm
how
with
it
you.
changes.
When we go, we should all do a different. We should all pick a different storyline to follow, like
Yeah.
to a T.
Yeah, I'm
called
just
the
basing
Sasha.
it.
Nah, fuck you. No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, no, no.
I'm
no,
just-
no, no,
I
you
said
were-
it first.
You
were
did
more
say it first.
No, but you were more resistant scum. I'm
But
telling.
I was resistant because I thought that's what we had to do. Then when I found out it was the Sasha, I was like, never mind.
I started talking to our Sasha about
And I
the
was like,
use
you're
of the
right.
Force, and then we're like, shit.
And you're absolutely right. And then I was like, just now, I'm going with the Sasha.
Fine.
I'm just basing it
Then
on
fine. First order.
I'm basing it on whatever Lieutenant Croy that we have.
Ooh.
Because
No. I
if
already
we have
called it.
If we
If
have
he
the
gets
best
Sasha,
Croy,
I get first order.
We should
I'm-
rotate.
I'm
Sasha,
doing first order if it's
resistance.
Croy.
No.
Yeah, 2 people can
No.
do it.
No, fuck
Two
that.
people can do
no,
it.
because then
How much money am I paying? I'm doing first order again. Okay,
That's fair. That's fair.
but if we
You're
all
not gonna be
had
paying that much if all three of us fit into the one
Yeah,
room.
it'll be
yeah
easy.
in the same bed even. Hey,
Hey.
okay.
Top bunk.
we all
No. Top bunk for. I was already in the. I already had the top.
You
bunk.
already had
I
it.
don't
I already
Yeah,
had the top bunk. I will gladly rotate down to the bottom
Okay.
bunk. For
I'll
you.
sleep on the floor. I don't care.
I
Like it's
would
only
not sleep
4
on the
hours
floor.
of sleep. I don't care.
All right.
I'm gonna do it differently when
But
we do it again.
I think
Yes. Yeah.
we
Here's-
all had the best Croy in my opinion. You had the same Croy.
100%.
The best Wraith in my opinion.
Yep.
We had different Sammys, but they're both equally great.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
wow.
Dark Sammy.
You guys had
I
a
can't-
great Sammy.
Man.
I can't
yeah.
imagine a different Sammy.
His
That's
name
what's
is
so weird.
Sage. His name is Sage.
Sage.
He's very active on Instagram.
I did not know that.
He's,
Okay.
he's an excellent,
Yeah.
excellent actor.
And
He's
I-
fantastic.
we had the same Gaia. We had the media Gaia. And she is
Oh,
she
oh,
is
she was the
excellent.
media Gaia,
she
was-
is
okay.
great.
She was fantastic. So
We had the same
here's-
Lincoln. No, we had different Lincoln Mox.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's my quick spoiler-free thoughts. I
Then
think
we'll move along.
it is the most fun I've ever had as an adult. First and
Yeah.
foremost, it is worth every penny, and I would do this again in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second I got the chance to do it, it was so much fun. I truly anticipated coming off being like, because here's the thing: when you and me talked about it, you hyped it up, and I was like, there's no way at this point it's going to be able to live up to the hype that is
Yeah.
in my head, and then what you have confirmed. It exceeded all those things.
Somehow.
It is absolutely fantastic. If you and your family get a chance to do this, I urge you to go and do that. It is seriously the most fun you'll ever have, but you have to put into it what you want out of it. So
Yes.
if you sit in the
Great
Sublight
point.
Lounge and you just play Hollow Sabak for 2 days, you're gonna be like, well, what happened? You're not gonna get it.
Unless that's what you want.
And
Like,
that's fair,
If
if that's
that's
what you want,
fun
too.
for you, then you're gonna love it.
I think it's just for a very specific type of person as far as getting the most out of it.
Yeah, it's
We'll
made
get
for
to
us.
that in the spoilery stuff. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching on Facebook. We'll see you on the next thing. And now let's talk the full experience. So I think the best way to do this is just to start with our trip because that's what we can.
I already did my
here's-
trip beat by beat, but
here's-
no spoilers. So you
Here's
guys
what
go.
I was thinking potentially what we could do because I've got basically a bare bone skeleton that I typed out today of
Yeah.
what we did.
I did that with mine too.
Now
but I didn't bring it.
this will to the listeners listening. This is all encompassing as I could possibly make it. And I'm sure Brad's going to say, "Well, remember this," and then I'll remember stuff, and Evan might say something that tips our memory. And then there's going to be stuff that I forgot that we did,
Yeah,
or
that's
things
the
that we
insanity
said.
of it.
That's the crazy
I
part.
was watching videos today and I was like, I don't remember
Yeah.
that at all.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
filmed it.
So what I was thinking is you and I go through our days, but then Evan also at the same time maybe chime in what he was doing at this point of that day.
I
Oh,
think that's
that'd
a
be
great
cool.
idea.
That'd
So-
be cool. Yeah.
So we can kind of see which paths our stories were taking here.
Agreed.
So,
That's a great idea.
So all right. So first and foremost, you guys know me. I have a lot of tattoos. Full right sleeve of Metallica album covers. Left sleeve getting the Joker. I have the Joker, Harley Quinn. I got the Riddler, getting Poison Ivy in a couple of weeks.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And I've got a Donald to my likeness on my calf.
Nice.
I've been thinking about a Star Wars.
Is it
Tattoo
a redheaded angry Donald?
No, but the Donald has my tattoo sleeve. I don't know if have I ever showed you that.
No, I've
I've
never
never
noticed
seen it
that.
either. No.
Donald has your Metallica sleeve?
1000% does.
That's
oh,
cool.
That's
he's
hilarious.
He's wearing a cutoff shirt that says Metallica.
No, he isn't.
I swear to God.
He's a Tom variant.
Yep, he's a
Nice.
Tom variant of. He's a Donald.
He's Tomald Duck.
Tomald
He
Duck.
literally is
Exactly.
Tom. That's so cool.
Yes.
Was that your old name on
Twitter? Yeah, that
Okay.
was my Twitter display.
I was
name.
like, why did I
But
come
then
up? I know I didn't come up with it
Metallica is
myself.
still one of them. I've seen both.
Metallica was the username, but
So. Okay.
and in the name where people might put Tom Oakley or Evan Boucher, I put Tomald Duck
Nice. Okay.
just for people.
I
to see.
remember when we first saw your name, we were like Tomikia.
Yeah, you guys are
Tomika?
way off.
I'm like, what is Tomika?
Metamika?
Metallica, yeah.
Mitamisha.
Then
Yeah.
I remember we were on the show and I was like, oh, it's Metallica.
It took us a month. Like, yeah.
Several
I
months.
remember that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to get a Star Wars tattoo, and I think I've officially narrowed it down. It's going to be the Halcyon logo.
Oh,
I don't disagree.
beautiful logo.
It's a beautiful logo. It's simple.
It's
elegant.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. I just got to pick where. I know I'm getting it. I just got to pick where because it's like
Face.
all my tattoos mean. Yeah, right.
tattoo.
I mean, I work from home now. Shit.
Next to your teardrop.
Yeah. The Chandrilla. It means I shot somebody in the face.
Shut
So
Starcruiser.
I wanted to mention that. So we're doing that. So all right. So we are going to run down here, and
Which can I just point out like the significance of someone willing to get a tattoo
oh yeah.
of the
Yes.
Chandrilla
Yes.
Starline logo? Like we're talking about somebody who is a lifelong Metallica fan,
Mhm.
a lifelong DC fan. Went on a 2-day hotel experience and had such a great time.
Yep.
That's up to par with them for marking their body permanently with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how great the Starcruiser is. I
Yes.
just want to point
Yeah.
that out
Yes.
to people.
Yeah.
That you're not like the kind of person that goes like,
No.
"Oh, I want like a hot dog on my
Yeah.
arm." It's an inside joke between us. But we'll tell you later.
It'd be a Ronto rap for me.
Oh, I would love that.
Well,
if
well,
you got a Ronto
we will
tattoo.
explain that reference
Never,
later.
but okay.
It's not something like that. So I just want to like that's a huge deal. You don't have any other Star Wars tattoos. That's
No.
just
No,
showing.
that would be your
Yep.
first. Yeah.
That would be my first.
That's
And it's like-
I don't disagree with you. If I was
Even
going to get
before
a
Cal
tattoo,
Kestis, Fallen Order,
yeah.
anything.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Oh my god.
I mean, like I get it.
yeah.
I get it.
Because I don't want to do like a just Vader. I don't want to do Kylo because it's just like other people have that. That's
Yeah.
why like nobody has this.
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
No.
nobody's gonna have what I have when my. I mean, people will
There'll
more so
be-
have the
yeah.
villain sleeve, but
Yeah.
no one's got Tomald Duck. So
No.
it's. I mean, people
Yeah.
will eventually have the Halcyon logo, but I want to get it because it meant so much to me, just like
Yeah.
Brad was saying.
So
Yeah.
I just want to point that out.
Thank you.
That's a
Thank you
huge-
for mentioning that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
That's awesome.
So first and foremost, Brad and I got to Brad's house about 9:45, 10.
Yep.
The Monday morning.
We sat around just trying to kill as much time as we possibly could.
We did. We were watching a couple of videos.
It's like Christmas morning. You wake up at 3
didn't-
a.m. and you're like, I can't wake mom and dad up yet.
I
I
didn't
gotta
sleep
wait.
the night before, dude. I was so
Yeah.
up in my head about.
Yeah.
I woke up like I literally woke up and told Holly I was like, I feel like I'm a kid again, getting excited for Christmas Day.
That's exactly
Like,
what it was.
I feel like that, and she's like, well, it's the day, like, and I was like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna wake up. I'm not eating because I wanted to eat on the ship first. So I was like, I'm not eating. I'm not doing any of that.
Did that
kind
too.
of stuff.
Yep.
So Tom gets here. We pack the car. We get all that kind of crap
Yep.
ready. Then we leave.
we rolled up at 10:30 to the security gate.
10:30 security
It
gate.
took us maybe 5 minutes to get
We
there.
rolled the window down, and the dude was the nicest security guard I've ever
Yep.
interacted with in my life.
It's true.
And I was like, I know we're early. I was like, that's how I prefaced it. I was like, I know we're early. What time can we physically go through the gate? He goes 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
I go, awesome. He goes, if you want, he confirmed our reservation with us there.
Right.
And then he called someone. No, that was when we came back. Sorry.
Yeah. When we
So-
came back at
Yeah.
11.
So he goes, if you want, you can just go sit over here in the parking lot. That's where we valet the cars. You can go sit there until 11 o'clock, and we'll let you in right at 11.
Here's the
Perfect.
cool part, kind of how our voyage started. We saw the Rise Trooper on the back of the golf cart. Going in the back, right in
Nice.
front of the Rise show
So
building.
as we park, we're sitting there and we're talking, and you're telling me we're talking about something kind of like deep because I almost didn't interrupt you. It wasn't like super deep.
No,
but it
yeah,
was-
but it was.
we were-
it was
I didn't want to interrupt
conversation. Yeah.
you. And we were talking about something, and I go, dude, look over there. There's a stormtrooper for Rise getting wheeled backstage.
Yeah.
Through like visibly.
Visibly, you can see.
You can
Ridiculous.
see it.
You don't, and you're not talking about a cast member in a costume.
No, it was an animatronic. being
It- yeah, it
wheeled
was the one that
slowly
stands,
across.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was so cool.
They have been fixed too. There's a few of them that weren't moving at all, and now I noticed when I went to do it last time, they were moving. So
That's
that must have
awesome.
been one of them. They must have like taken it and fixed it and brought it back.
But that was a cool moment to see, like, to
Yeah.
start off a Star Cruiser. Like, that's super cool. So we get back at like 10:58. And
about 10:56. We're like, all right.
We saw a
He's like,
taxi
close enough.
come through. We saw a taxi go through.
Yes.
And we were like, okay, we were like, that could be somebody leaving, but if it's somebody being dropped off, I wanted to be the first one there.
And thankfully, it was nobody because
I don't know what happened with that.
I don't know what that was
I don't remember.
because you're 2/3 of Jedi.
Could have been a
talk.
cast member. I mean,
It
for all
could've.
we know.
Yeah, it could have been somebody like staying on
that's
property.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
They
that.
can't
but
afford to have their own cars or pay for gas, so they got to do
That's
something.
fair.
I know Disney is underpays, but there's some about this that tells me these people those people might get a premium.
Well, I know the beverage and the food and beverage people get the 18% gratuity included
good.
automatically.
Good.
So they're living not too bad off of that tax.
That's good.
Yeah, anytime anybody buys anything, or buys, I use that in quote, even just like the flatbreads, like we inhale.
Yeah, the included food comes
get
with an 18%
I
tip.
still feel sorry for that girl in the Sublight Lounge. I told her no, and then I told her yes. I want another flatbread.
We ate so many flatbreads.
They were
So
good.
Oh, they were
so good.
delicious.
We'll get to that in a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll be there. Yeah. So we.
This is where my first complaint comes in, by the way. Once we get into the bunker,
One of the
we'll
few
talk about it.
complaints-
Remind me to the screen. Remind me to bring that up when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. I
So
know what
we
you're talking about.
we
Oh,
get
it was
there.
one of mine too. There was
Oh,
so much going on, but I warned you ahead of time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you forgot.
I
'cause
forgot
it's so much.
I totally forgot. And then
yeah, I had the same reaction. But go ahead.
drove me insane.
Same.
So we get there and at 11, like 10. I think I looked down. It was 10:58, and I was like, "Is he really gonna make me loop around again?" But he calls to somebody, and he goes, "Our first guests are here." And the person on the other end of the radio goes, "Did you just say the first guests have arrived? Over?" And he goes, "Correct, over." And he goes, the guy goes, "All right, let him in."
And you're thinking, technically, we arrived 30 minutes ago.
we've
But
been
hey,
here- we've been here
knew.
for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but whatever.
yeah.
They knew.
And
Yeah.
so they let us in, and me and Tom were literally the first ones there. We were the first people in line, and I
Nice.
cannot recommend this enough. I know it's insane to go stand in line for an hour and a half waiting for to get into a hotel.
No, but it's better than what I did.
understand. And
I
that's
sat
why I did
I
it.
sat in my car, our car with the gas running for almost an hour. Just waiting to get
I
in.
told you it was something.
You guys did it much
so Tom
better.
didn't listen to the episode because he didn't want to hear it. It's
Yeah,
smart.
I don't blame
I
him.
wanted to
Hasn't
stay
heard
so
this.
far away. Yeah.
But I told you that advice.
Yeah.
Don't get there at 1.
And
get
I
there
did.
earlier
I
than
got there
1.
as early as we possibly could because I was
Yep.
like, I don't want to deal with this. Because I'd rather
Ugh.
wait for an hour and a half
Yes.
standing there and be the
Mhm.
first ones in than wait an hour and a half and be not
And-
in the
Yeah.
ship.
It
we,
was
we
glorious.
lost a whole hour of Starcruiser time.
In
because of that.
Disney, this told me, like, this is so simple and stupid, but this told me because it was shaded, there was a bathroom to use that they let
Yeah.
you take pictures already, like
Oh, yeah.
up front.
They encourage
Like,
it
I've
too
got
by
a
that
video
logo.
and a picture of
Yeah.
the empty hallway.
I saw that. Those are beautiful. Tom's shot of the hallway with
Yeah.
the logo at the end was amazing. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's one of my favorite shots.
That was fucking cool.
Because I took a picture of that light, but when I was 5 feet away from it, you got the entire hallway.
You know why? Because the security guard said, "Here, let me open the door for you so you
Oh,
can take this picture."
That's awesome.
Like right from there, I knew this was going to be different.
Yeah, me
yeah,
too.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Me too. 'Cause
Um,
security's not usually jovial,
No.
and that's not a mean thing. I mean, they kind of
That's
can't.
their
they have
job.
to,
They're
like,
supposed
And
to
then-
be. Yeah.
be somewhat serious.
I can't remember if you went to the bathroom, but they had.
I wish I would have because I
they-
wanted to
I
see
told
it.
you they had the Halcyon logo on the soap, like
Even on
dispenser.
the out of universe bathrooms. That's cool.
Oh no, those are we're on Chandrila. Yes, I said that. Chandrila.
I don't know, because you watch the video and it's got the announcer. It's welcome to Star Wars Galactic. So it can't
Oh.
be universe.
He's
That's
not
true.
wrong.
It can't be universe yet.
All right, so then it's Earth.
I don't think it's universe. But either way, it's cool
I
that they
think
had all
once you're-
that in
I
the
think. I
bathroom.
think
The
here's-
launch pod up is
That's
universe.
exactly. I was gonna say. I
Yes.
think the launch pod up is where you're on Chandrila, and then you go up.
Yeah.
And they don't really show you anything, or I think
Yeah.
that they designed it that
When you're
way.
in the launch pod, all you see is trees.
Yep.
So those are Chandrillan trees.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's where
yeah.
the story starts is
Yep.
when you're on the launch.
So
pod,
about
which I have no problem with.
No,
by
No,
the way.
I'm
I
glad
don't
because I don't
either.
want.
Yeah.
I think there's a cool divide there.
Yeah.
Big time.
It's like this is reality is now done.
They even say it. They're like, "This is where your story begins."
Yeah.
And like they close the door and like.
That's
so, yeah.
true.
So
That's true.
we get through security, and we had a good plan because I was like, I want to be the first ones on. I don't want someone to because people were trying to
Well, here's the thing too. Before they let us in at 12:45.
12:48.
Oh, what was it?
It was
12:48.
12:48. No, 12:43.
Oh.
It was because it was a few minutes before 12:45.
Okay.
when they were letting us in.
Well, I just remember that the guy right in front of us, because we were so fucking close, he keeps looking at his watch. So,
It was 12:43 because they were going to let us in 15 minutes early.
Nice.
and
Okay.
real
but
quick,
it was a little earlier. than
looking
that.
at my watch, I just want to say for all you Last Jedi haters, stay far away from the Halcyon because this has got Last Jedi.
Dude,
all
it's
over
basically
it.
Force Awakens and Last Jedi, the hotel,
Yep.
Mhm.
the experience. That's
Yep.
all it is.
I mean, kind of. We'll get to it later, but
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, I think it's. I see what you mean about Last Jedi. It's definitely like Canto Bight aesthetic,
Yeah.
and I think it's Solo
it's-
aesthetic.
And
It's all those things.
I'll hold that thought to real later, but
yeah.
towards the end of the story, it's something Last Jedi, but
Blew
yeah.
my mind, that part.
I
We'll
don't
get to
remember
it.
what you're talking about.
I think you and I are thinking
You'll know when they.
of two different things.
I think so then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it is.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, me too.
Ooh.
So anyway, so we scan in, we go through security, and then we go
different
to
color, by the way.
Yeah, it's a yellow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and it has a unique
I didn't pay
sound.
attention to it when I did it myself, but I watched your video and I was like, oh, he took
Yeah.
a video of him scanning in and
Yeah, of
fingerprinting.
course
and
I did.
Yeah.
Super cool. And then so you go through security like normal, and then you go to the end of this hallway. You hang a right at the Chandrilla logo.
Can I just thank you for filming as much as you did? Because
course.
I hate doing that. But I've watched both of your
Used to it.
videos like as soon as you've uploaded it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I've
just to go
watched-
through it again.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen the one you did today yet, but I've watched other ones, and yeah, like that's. I'm
Day
glad
2
you
was
did.
better than day 1. I'll be honest with you.
I think
recorded
mine was
more.
too. My
Oh,
video was
with
better too.
with your recording.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was.
Because
I
day
had-
one
I
was
had-
just.
Well, I
Yeah.
wanted this balance of like filming cool stuff, so we have like stuff to look back on,
but also,
but also enjoying the experience while we're
Yeah.
there. There's so much stuff I didn't record. I didn't record any of us actually doing anything in the engineering room. I didn't record anything of our first lunch. I don't think. If I did, it was very minimal.
It was minimal, yeah. Because
And
I remember seeing the grilled cheese
I was
again.
kind of see. I don't remember even getting a picture of that, but it was.
That was
I was trying to like tightrope walk where I'm like, I don't give a shit if anyone sees this or not because it's for me.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
I had
it-
fun with it. So we get to the end of that hall with
This is where some of the operational problems are. The very, very few minimal operational problems.
Where?
When like
I didn't even.
you guys
recognize that.
avoided a lot of it because you got
I'm
there
about
at
to say
10
we-
a.m.
we
Yeah.
didn't
But if
see
you
a lot
get
of
there,
that. I
if
know
you get there
exactly what he's
anytime
gonna say.
after 10 a.m., like I
Okay.
said, it takes 2
Okay.
hours to get
I
in.
know exactly what I was going to say. Where
Plus-
they let 6 people on, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, it's
there's
like
400 people. That's
how
like,
did
that's
you
a lot
only
of
build
trips.
No.
one load area? Like when you build rides and attractions, they build 2 different loading
Well, it's
areas,
weird.
2
Is it a
different
space
tracks.
thing?
It's weird.
There was. I mean,
It's weird because it looks like there's 2 transport shuttles there.
Yeah, and there's space for 2. And even in the picture on the map,
It
it shows
shows
2
2.
transport pods.
So I don't know if
Why don't
Maybe
you
one
have-
was down. I don't know where the other one was.
It was down
It was
for
right
us
next to
too.
it.
Then, if that's the case,
Huh?
there's 2 right next to each other.
even when you get to the atrium, you see 2.
You see 2.
Unless it's a fake one.
The one it could be the one we board on
Oh,
the. is the
duh,
one
that's
on the
right.
And then there's
That's
the one on the
right.
left.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, but the hallway.
By the way,
is-
I think this thing actually moves. I know
yeah,
people-
it's an elevator. It
it
goes
is
up.
an
It goes up
I-
a few feet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It goes up a
okay.
floor because
Yeah.
when we were getting off, I noticed the Reedy Creek Improvement District
Oh
Yep.
shit.
elevator
like the-
license.
the
and
law
and
thing?
it says
Okay.
2 landings on it, which if
Yeah.
it wasn't real, they wouldn't put that there.
Yeah.
And
Like
why
on
would
the
they
space-
make it look like an elevator if
Correct.
it wasn't an elevator?
And on the Space 221, there's not that. So
Yep.
it's just
Yep.
just because there's nothing that's moving. you
it
don't
only
have to
goes like
inspect
8
it.
feet, but
Yeah.
still.
So you go like up a floor. Or
Yeah, up a
something.
floor.
But
Okay.
I don't
You
know
got the
how
floor.
there's only one. Not really pre-show room.
So then that explains
safety show room. How is there
Of
only
how
one?
the layout of the ship is.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now I get it.
And how you're not. Yeah,
I don't get how there should be 2 safety showrooms and 2 pods, so you can alternate just like you do attractions. But that's the minorest nitpick of operations. It doesn't affect the story.
If
or
you get
anything.
there early, you can avoid this.
Exactly.
And I
You
get-
guys didn't
I
have
get
a
that it would be
problem.
Yeah.
annoying
This
as
was
shit.
our the way we got onto the Halcyon. Never ever doing it any differently.
No, yeah,
Like
100%. I'd get there at 11
if-
o'clock.
and
every
when
time.
I take
Yeah.
Courtney eventually, because she said
Yeah.
she's going to go with me. I like, babe, I'll camp out for us if you
Yeah.
want to meet me. Like, I'll stay the night at Brad's and walk over or
Yeah.
something. And
100%, dude. Like,
yeah, like-
that's the only way to do it.
yeah,
yeah.
Because we'll get to it. Like, all right,
Yeah.
so we get off the
And
shuttle.
You didn't even mention the valet. How awesome that is.
Oh,
Valet's
duh.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole
valet
check-in
was
experience
Before
is
you
great.
even like get out and say my name is so and so to here to check in, they're ripping bag, not
Well,
ripping.
us
They're
was a
taking
little
bags out of
different.
your car. It's like a pit crew.
They
They're
were
like,
like-
take this bag, take that bag.
They were like, "Who are you guys again?" And we're like, "Oh, we're this," and then they had. the
no,
magic
they
bands
knew
ready
when we
for
walked
us.
up.
Did they?
Yeah, yeah. You were like
I was
lost.
filming.
Yeah, and I was. He just came to me. He's like, "Oh, you the Oak Creek party?" And I said, "Yep." And like Brad, because he gave you your M band first.
That's
Gave
right.
me mine
Nice.
second. Yeah.
Mine didn't work the entire time, but we'll get to it.
Until about 2.
Even then,
It's your own fault.
it is
144.
144 magic bands. So 142 is the limit, kids. It's the
we
limit.
found the limit.
So all right, so we get on the transport shuttle.
Well,
This
no,
is-
yeah,
this
we
was
we're,
get
under-
we're
past the
skipping.
safety
We're
video.
skipping the
Oh,
safety
no,
video.
so the,
Me,
okay.
everyone's biggest complaint.
So
I
they
didn't
gather
care.
us in front.
Really
I did. It
I
pissed
know.
me
did.
off.
I get it. I
I
get
turned around like you did.
They
Go ahead.
gather you around this TV.
Like
and
20
they-
people,
and it's
maybe.
Mark Davis, which is hilarious that his name is Mark Davis.
Me too, because it's not
'Cause that's
the
a Disney,
Imagineering goat.
Disney Imagineering
Yeah.
legend of Mark Davis, but it's the announcer guy for Disney's Hollywood
I
Studios.
saw him the other day.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
My engine
He
was
hosts
black.
he hosts Celebration. What?
Thought that I was making a substance joke going.
He hosts Celebration too. He's there at Celebration, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
so they do like just a heads up. If you hear this alarm, this is the fake in-story alarm. Bing, 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 and that means go to the atrium and join your muster station.
Bash.
And then if Bash, and then if there's a Bash,
Dorn. Shut up.
then if there's a real alarm, do this, and it shows him like opening some weird door in his cabin.
It's like a panic room in your cabin.
No, it's
was
not a
so
panic
weird.
room.
It's like it's
When
not,
we got into our room, I'm skipping ahead a
I
second.
didn't open mine up. So I'm
no,
curious.
I didn't dare touch it. It
Okay.
kind
I
of
feel like
freaked
an
me
alarm
out.
would
I
go
saw
off
people
for
pictures on Instagram where they did open it.
No,
Like,
it
what are you
kinda
doing?
freaked
What
me
if
out
it did sound an
because
alarm?
I turned to
That's
Brad.
what
I'm
it
like,
is.
this is 100% an active shooter room, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And he said yes. I'm like, I don't like this.
Okay.
it's an active
I don't
shooter
like
room,
this.
100%.
Okay.
That's a way to seal yourself in.
Yep.
and- Yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, but my problem with this was they show the entire fucking ship
Yep.
as you're getting on it.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
I hated it.
I avoided. I saw a flash of like just the, like like when you think of the lobby, you think of like red, white, yellow, like the
Yeah.
colors.
And
Uh-huh.
some
I
gold
saw
and
a
stuff.
flash of that,
And you're like, nope.
and I turned around. I looked at Tom. I said, "What the fuck are they doing?
I did that same thing.
What the fuck are they doing?" There was kids around me, and I just didn't give. I was so pissed.
Oh, I
was
know,
like,
yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck are they doing? Why would they show you this?
Yeah.
You don't have to show me the lobby to get the point across.
No, just show,
What are
hey,
you
this
doing?
red light means danger. Okay,
Yeah,
I got
show
it.
me a video of the fucking light going
That's
off.
all you got to do.
Because they're all around the
And
ship.
play
I
the
know, yeah,
audio because the
just
audio
show a
would tell me
corner.
what I need
show
to
me
hear.
a corner.
Yeah.
Show me the door of the room. That's fine. I don't
Right.
care. Like, show me a hallway. Don't show me the goddamn atrium.
Yeah.
That made me so mad. So if
Me
you're
too.
going and you don't want to see anything, when you get to that room, turn
Blindfolded
your back
or something.
or
Yeah,
close your
they
eyes so you
don't-
don't see it.
They don't force you to watch it either way. So.
It
Have
was
your
so
character
annoying.
have your character be Chirrut Emway so you're blind.
If
so
I
you
got
don't-
a survey
you
about this,
kidding me?
I would
I
too.
would
Lying.
100%
that
be
line.
like, you need to refilm
You didn't get the
this.
survey email yet?
No.
I did.
Oh, it came
I
to
did.
me.
Yeah.
I got
Shit,
it.
okay.
I didn't have any area to put that in though, but I got that email.
Yeah.
I didn't get
I
it.
got
I
that
filled it
Everything was
out
under Tom's
ASAP.
account.
Yeah.
Me too. I was like praising the entertainment CMs. I'm like, entertainment CMs are the
100%.
best. We need more entertainment. Entertainment
Yes.
CMs, cast member.
Yeah.
I
Although
would not
the
stop.
That
one
pissed me
gripe
off,
I
too.
put in the survey I will get to when we get to
I'm
it.
sure it's the Sublight Lounge one.
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
I have the
Yep.
same complaint.
I
you
didn't
do.
have that complaint because I didn't have this option. So, well, you didn't
Anyway.
have an option apparently.
So
but
we get off of the we board the shuttle to up, and I thought it was fine. I was expecting a little bit more, but
yeah,
it was
I
just
didn't know what I
whatever.
was expecting.
I didn't give a
just
shit.
wanted to get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then the doors open, and we were the first ones off.
Well-
and as we're standing there, there's a group of cast members
Mhm.
that take us to the rooms.
Yeah, there was one in front of the bridge
I
because the
don't-
bridge is immediately on the left.
For $1 million, I wouldn't remember a word this dude said, because the second
Thank
I'm
God
off
I
the
was looking.
ship,
Yeah.
I would have heard.
we were
it.
all crying, all of it.
I
You
was,
guys cried.
I was. I
We were
was just
crying.
like, holy shit. And in
Yeah.
my video, you can hear me say holy shit a few times because I was just
Yeah.
completely blown away by the look of the atrium.
Mhm.
I was blown away by the aesthetic of everything.
I think the atrium is the most matching the concept art of all the areas.
the Chrono Corelli is close.
It's pretty
I
close.
read back-
It's a
I-
little
Yeah, the
smaller.
Chrono
They drew
Corelli
it in a
is
little
really
bit. They
close.
brought it in a
They
little
brought
bit.
it in a
but
little,
it's close.
but
I think the
not a
atrium is
lot.
almost spot on.
If you think about like the side, the atrium is 100% spot on.
Yeah.
There's also a room they got rid of. I don't know if you looked at it again. There's like another room that had like more windows that
Yeah.
they got rid of, which I honestly,
Yeah.
looking back on it, I go like, I don't feel like it was missing this.
No.
You know, sometimes you look at concept art and you're like, this was missing something, and I
Yep.
don't feel like the ship missed anything.
No.
But the Chrono Corelli was really close too. It just looked like they kind of shrunk
Just
it down.
squished it a little bit. Yeah.
Speaking of concept art, I found notes I took in July when they released the 18-minute video. Can I go over those notes real
Please
quick?
do, please.
Yeah.
And I just want to, because I looked it over 'em earlier, and guys, they hit on a lot of the notes I took in that video.
I bet.
So this is not typical Disney over-promising and under-delivering.
Nope.
So in the 18-minute Galactic Starcruiser video that I watched on July 30th,
That was
2021,
like
Was this the round table one?
table
Yep,
with
the round
Scott
table.
Trowbridge and Ann
this
Morrow.
was 2 days before I departed to come move to Orlando.
Yeah.
Aliens will be the entertainment and music.
Yep.
Check mark.
Yep, Sandro and
The Galaxy's Edge, and we will get to both
And
of them
Gaia.
very soon. Galaxy's Edge experience in new ways. Yep. Depending on the story to play out on the planet. Yep.
Mhm.
Story will flesh out for smugglers and Rise to be a part. Yep.
Yep.
So
100%.
100%. Working on, so they worked on Galaxy's Edge and the Starcruiser at the same time. So
Makes
stories
sense.
interact. We knew that makes sense. Worked with Lucasfilm, obviously.
Big time.
Characters
Story
connected
group.
to the larger Star Wars universe.
Yep.
Very, very much so. It's a piece of canon. It's a giant piece of canon.
Yep.
This is a great link between Episode 8 and 9,
especially the finale.
especially
Big
the
time.
finale. It connects to history of planets we know and love.
Yeah.
Yep. And we didn't get any new planets.
Especially
did we?
Kijimi.
Nope.
Kind of. We don't know if those new planets on the TV were new or they existed in Star
Or
Wars.
they're just another random
I'm
planet
looking
that we
at-
don't know.
yeah.
There's
oh, you mean
5,000
the ones in the room?
on the
ones
star
that
map.
we like flew
Yeah,
by, the ones
yeah.
on the map. So
They
I
never
have no
said
idea.
those were moons or planets.
Yeah,
So like,
I'm sure they're existing
some
canon,
were.
but every day in Star Wars is a new planet. So
Meals were included. Very familiar characters will meet on board. Yep. New characters will be added to canon. Absolutely.
Yep.
And we'll get to it, but those new
top 10
characters shined.
characters. Yeah.
Shined.
Yeah.
You might help others smuggle, escape, or put into the brig. Yes, yes, and
Yep.
yes. We get to choose who we interact and be loyal to.
Mhm.
We sure
100%.
do. You don't have to interact, and that's true.
Yeah.
You don't. I saw some people just chilling back. More than humans. Captain of the ship is not a human. She's a Pantoran.
Yep.
Kylo and Rey are part of this. Duh, Chewie. Kylo and Rey will clash. That they did, and we will get to that. We'll be in the middle of the scene, and we were.
Yeah.
Brad and I
Literally.
were right under some of it.
Quite
Yeah.
literally in the middle.
We were
Yeah.
literally under some of it.
You know what? Oh, we'll get to it when we get to it.
A
Never mind.
few more
I won't
things.
forget
Much
this.
more intimate and choices matter. They
Mhm,
absolutely do, and they
mhm.
were. Things happened organically, and they
Oh, yeah.
fucking did.
Nothing there felt like forced or out of place. Like
No.
anytime a character talked to me, I just felt like
Yes.
I was walking
Yes.
down the street and there was a friend and he was like, "Hey,
Yep.
how are you doing with this?" I was like, "Oh, okay,
I
normal."
love that. Just like one of our first interactions with Captain Heaven was just because I was like, "Hey, Captain,"
Mm-hmm.
and like a few minutes later, she just came back around again, and we started talking to her more.
Yeah.
And it was just
That's
on
how
that
it was
one
with me a
little-
few times
she was
A
like-
moment
with
with
other
a
characters.
moment with her landed on my top 10, which will be on Wednesday's episode. by the way.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, concept art. So Crown of Corellia dining room looked like it. So we were on the atrium, right?
Yep.
I believe his name was Adam. I think his name was Adam.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you,
just,
for $1 million
I know,
bucks,
just,
I couldn't tell
I'm
you.
just, you just trust me with this stuff. I feel more than 50% sure. He was Adam from Coruscant, potentially. A lot of people from Coruscant, I noticed on their name tags. And then, by the way, we're talking about the passenger services, they're technically called.
Yep.
They had their name, looked like Earth name, and where they're from Star Wars-wise. So everybody was from a Star Wars planet. Everybody.
Yep.
So we're walking through the atrium, and help me, Evan. This is where it blurred a little bit for me because I was the same as you. I'm just like, holy shit, yeah, what are you saying, Adam? Okay, yep, sure. And I'm like looking, and I see the, what's the name of the shop? Corellia?
Crown of Corellia.
Crown of
Well, that's the
Corellia.
dining room, Crown of Corellia.
Oh yeah, Corellia collection.
Corellia collection. Yeah, so we're looking at the shop. I'm like, oh my God, there it is. There's the lightsaber. I
Yeah.
see it. There's a shield. And then he shows us the sublight lounge, I think, and he's just like, let me take you to your room, deck
I
5.
don't remember him showing us the sublight lounge.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think he just kind of brushed us by there, and we poked our head in. And like, yeah, we'll
He
be
brought
back.
He brought us to the sublight lounge.
I think he took us by it.
Oh God, I don't remember this at all.
Again,
I love
I
that.
was in tears, dude. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, like I
same.
literally was crying.
The only thing
walking
I
out.
remember from my welcoming cast member was they said to Taylor, they're like, "Oh, a little porg told me it was your birthday," and that was it. That's the only
Oh,
part I
that's cool.
remember
Wow.
because it was that cool. But
That's
aside from
cool.
that, 1 minute I'm crying in the atrium, the next minute I'm in my room.
That was me. And then-
The first time I got emotional, I didn't tell you, and we'll get to this. It's part of the story. It's when we were in the engineering room with Chewie.
that was awesome.
I don't know why that got me. But
That was
it
the first
did.
time you cried.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't cry walking in.
I mean, I
I
got
teared up.
I got emotional,
I
but
got emotional.
but like in the moment, like when I go to Metallica shows, I tear up twice. Like when they're playing Seek and Destroy and the Ecstasy of Gold. With Star Wars, it always hits me after the fact. Like
Oh,
it takes a minute to sink in. Like
because you know, like Metallica's real in the moment, so
Yeah.
that's probably why.
Yeah.
With Star Wars, you're like, this isn't real, but
And
then later you're like, man, that was
I got
cool.
emotional when
Probably.
dude, if
in
I
the
got,
end-
if I got like brain damage, you could convince me that was real.
yeah,
Oh, same,
that was
same.
that was real to me until
Yeah.
I got
Doesn't
home
seem
and
fake at all.
put the
It's
office
so
on and
nuts.
fell asleep.
No.
I got emotional with Chewie in the engineering room, and then after the final act happened when they played the outro music that Star
Oh,
Wars uses, I'm like,
That
oh,
was great.
no,
I
they
didn't know
did.
that was even gonna happen.
I know.
None
yeah.
of us did.
So we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So,
So the quick backtrack for a
Yeah, yeah,
second. A minor thing that comes back into play in bridge missions when you're taking the launch pod up to the Halcyon, the loaders come and grab your launch pod and bring you to the Halcyon, and then like you don't notice it, but then later you're like, oh, those are the loaders. That it's just
I
a cool
didn't notice
detail.
it till
It's
you
a
just
cool
said it
little
just
detail.
now.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
it's
wow.
yeah. The loaders that you use in the bridge missions are what
So
you
cool.
use to get your launch pod to the shuttle. the
I
Halcyon.
I remember the bridge mission about 90%. And Brad will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have a medical card for my back issue. So my back was. I mean, we're moving a lot.
We
We
need
are
to get
moving
Rise of
a
the
lot on the
Resistance a
Halcyon.
medical card for its back issue. 'Cause it's been
Yes,
carrying the
I
resort,
know.
the Walt Disney World Resort, for 2.5 years, and it shows.
The Halcyon is now, baby.
That's going to be carrying us for a couple years.
But
so.
basically, I'm just
Couple
leading the
decades.
story up to the point where I had to take
Yep.
edibles because I was in pain because we were moving around a lot.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they hit during bridge training.
Yeah, that's not a bad time, I guess.
No, it
for
wasn't
that.
a bad time, and I remember most of it, but that was fun, and we'll get there.
So
but
you guys
I
get
didn't
to your
even think
room.
about that. Yeah.
Your luggage was not quite there yet.
Wasn't-
because you guys were so fast.
We were
it
literally
was
the
different.
first ones.
Yeah.
We were in the atrium before 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it took.
Yeah.
You said it took them like 10, 15 minutes for them
Yeah,
to get
it
your
was
luggage.
because
so it's
here-
quick.
Brad had to
it's
go
still
back.
quick.
Yeah.
Here's what we did. We went to the room. We messed with D309 for a second, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yep.
We left. We went to the Sublight Lounge and we played Sabak.
We went to Sublight Lounge. This is important because we met Lebeth for the first time.
Yes.
Did you have Lebeth? Bartender.
Oh no, I don't
Okay.
remember any of the bartenders' names. But I didn't spend enough time in the Sublight Lounge. That was my
Ah,
problem.
we
I only
spent so
spent
much
like
time.
2 hours total.
1,000% interact with your bartender on
Yes.
the Halcyon.
Yes.
Because Lebeth, right off the bat, she asked questions about us being bounty hunters. We were messing with her, kind of
Yep.
going back and forth, saying, like, well, depends on the right price. We're just having fun.
Because there's no official characters when you first get on. The characters come later. So interact
Yeah.
with the cast
To
members
me-
until you get the characters.
To
But-
me, Lebeth was.
right? The cast
Yeah, they all
members
felt
character.
like characters.
to
They
take
all had like their own
to
like.
take Bob Chapek's quote, but like use it for real. It does.
Backstory.
That does
Yeah.
apply to the Halcyon, where they are entertainment and they do count and their backstory matters, as opposed to on Batu, where it's
Yeah.
somebody that's just on a CP for 6 months and is tired of selling
I've heard of
lightsabers.
Star Wars. I
Yeah.
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 Because we get in and Brad's, like lost looking around for God knows what because he's in another world. We all were.
Yeah.
I ran up to the bar and I just remember said, Brad, they're giving drinks now. I think you and I were the first two to get a drink
Yeah.
at the
we were.
Sublight
We
Lounge
definitely were.
when we boarded. So
both got the Mustafari.
yeah, the Mustafari and it came with the
was the
souvenir
name?
glass.
I don't
Yeah.
remember the name of that one because I didn't like it
Shoot,
too
I
much.
don't either.
Let me see if I took a picture
I got
of the
acid
menu.
reflux from this drink.
Yeah.
Me
There it
too.
is.
Yeah.
Is it on the? Is it on the app?
No, I'm
Nope.
going to look at the menu. I'm pretty sure I took a picture of the menu. So yeah, it's a drink that you pour in lava from Mustafar into it, and she was really playing up like that. You're gonna burn your
Yeah. Our
your throat.
our
drinking
bartender
this.
did too because
How
I
much
was
of that
wearing.
did you put in? They're like,
Yeah,
how much-
yeah,
We
exactly.
both poured. Did you pour the whole thing in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
did.
I was
You did.
wearing gloves, so she came to me and she's like, "Oh, you have gloves. You're better suited to pour this." Here, she handed it to me, and she's like, "Don't put too much in." So I
That's
poured a little
awesome.
bit in, and then it wasn't as hot as I expected. And I don't even do
I
hot.
got bad acid
I don't do
reflux from
heat,
this, but
but-
that's not the
Oh, I
drink's
wasn't.
fault. That's my fault for
Yeah.
not knowing to not drink. Hot liquid molten magma.
molten liquid magma.
Liquid hot
Magma.
magma.
God damn it! I've got the other side of the menu.
Oh well. So then we go to the
God damn it!
Corellia collection and buy a few things, and
Quite a few
that's
things.
that's when we got back to the room. We put the stuff in the room, and our stuff was there.
So with my
Yes.
first shopping, I did this.
And
like
that's where
guys
you
did.
changed because you wore gym shorts.
Yeah. I wore
Yeah.
the Jedi Talk shirt,
Yep.
and
I saw that in the
Just-
video.
yeah.
That was like, sweet, he's repping Jedi Talk. That
I
was
was.
cool. That was cool.
actually,
Well, the reason is because we didn't know how hot it was going to be.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, I had
smart,
planned to
smart.
wear my X-wing costume
yeah.
that day.
But you were
which
standing outside waiting for like 30 minutes. You
Exactly.
said you would have been dying.
I would have. What was it, an hour and a half? I would've-
even-
I would've-
you would've been
I
dead.
Would have been dead.
First death on the Halcyon.
Speaking of the podcast, we got at least 4 listeners. Organically,
Sick.
we were not pushing.
No,
I don't. You
weren't.
guys
do
don't
that.
put. We're not pushers. We don't
weren't.
do that.
So
Yeah, that's
we're
not
gonna get
us.
there in a second. But shout out to Eli and Leah. I don't know your parents' names, sorry, but we dine with them at the captain's table.
That's
They
cool.
are
Nice,
cooler
yep.
than us because they're Club 33.
Yep.
I do know their father is a University of Michigan professor. So,
Dang.
right, yeah, it's pretty cool. But
Very cool.
they were both awesome. They joined us on a mission. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we invited
we
them
get
with
there.
us because
Yes.
they didn't know. Like, I was like, "Do you know about what all do you know?" And they're like, "We don't know anything." And I was like, "So you're gonna want to come with us on the second day to
We-
this
Oh, they never
we
been
got
to
to
Batu.
advanced lightsaber training."
We got lucky. Oh no, they were on Batu.
They're on
They've
Batu.
been- they've been
they
to
were
Batu?
they're Club
Okay.
33.
You know,
Okay.
you know the
Yeah.
picture that we have of the crate.
Yeah, you said
They
oh,
were the
okay.
ones
Yep.
holding the crate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just were
I-
able to take photos.
I
of
think
them.
Leah
I
was
said hi
giving
to
the
them
crate.
on Batu. They came up and said something to you guys, I think. And I think that was them.
Oh no, he's right.
Yeah, you guys introduced me to them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
he's
cool.
absolutely right.
They were
And
super
then
cool.
I don't know the names of the person we had second dinner with.
I don't either.
I
But shout out to those guys. All right, let's move on.
Shout out to the new listeners.
But,
Yeah.
So when you guys went shopping, I don't know how it was for you, but I did this shopping too first thing because you told me to, Brad. I was like, Brad said go shopping first thing because it closes on day 2 and it doesn't open again.
Yep.
So I walked in and there was no one else in the whole shop. 2 cast members come up to me and they're like, "Hi, hey, what can we help you with?" Whatever. I'm sure they said it more elegantly, but they're like, "What can we help you with? What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Oh, I kind of got a shopping list," and I literally had like in my notebook like 20 things I wanted. So they're like, "Oh, what do you need?" So I just started listing these things. And, like, as I'm saying them, they just walked around and grabbed them off the shelf.
Oh, that's
grabbed
cool.
it off the shelf.
That was
grabbed it
not
off
my
the shelf.
experience.
Not mine either, no.
But
But
so
you and I were in there with a little bit more people.
They
Yeah,
were
that's
like,
true.
yeah, I was the only person in the shop. It was cool. They were like my personal shopping cart, and they were like talking to me the whole time. I don't remember what all they said, but it was all story beats and character
That's
things,
awesome.
and like
Yes.
it was all
I'm
in
thoroughly
universe.
annoyed that stuff they advertise is still not there yet.
Yeah,
That drives me nuts. Just
those
don't advertise
chips.
it.
Those chips are the thing
poker
the
chips,
most.
the blankets aren't
Oh,
there.
I don't
I
think
would've
the
bought the
blanket was
poker chips.
advertised, was it? I just remember hearing that
I
from
remember
Len.
from the media event saying that they were coming,
Yeah, that's all I remember.
but that
too.
was
So-
2 months ago.
But it hasn't been in like a YouTube video. It'd be like, here's
No.
blankets and chips.
But the chips were.
The chips were.
The chips were. They had a photo of it.
Yep.
So
With the Sabak deck.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I didn't spend as much money as I thought I would. I put $300 on a Spira, and I was like, that should last me through
Yeah.
souvenirs in the bar. But I spent $168 of that Spira on May the 4th. That's
You
how
had
much I had
plenty
left
left
over.
over.
So I really didn't spend that much
I did
money.
the Spira route too, but you don't have to. I was like, oh, I don't want to pull out my debit card or anything and pay with Earth money or anything. But you can use. I'm stupid because I don't stay at Disney resorts, being a local, because I don't have to. You can use your M band to pay. So
I
you
still
don't.
owe you money for the drink, by the way. Remind me to send it to you later after
Okay.
this, because I'll have Holly
But
do it. I forgot.
You don't really need anything that's out or in universe because you have your M band right there. Is
Yeah.
in universe.
I-
band.
if it works.
If it works, yeah.
Oh, mine did.
Mine did.
I'm just going to
Clearly.
use yours next time.
Yeah, well, you already did.
I'm going to use it more.
Yeah. Fuck
Oh,
you,
oh,
pipe.
Tom. Oh, mine's broken too,
Oh,
Tom.
no.
Can I?
Well, no,
use
the
yours?
thing is, I truly didn't do this on purpose. They
No, yeah.
they
It was
scanned
it was
his
weird.
magic band, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
that's
like
right.
I thought it was just redeeming like the
Yeah,
captain's table or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But
so
they
did I.
they used it to buy the drink that I gave, and I handed her my Spira.
Oh, strange.
She's like, "Oh, you already paid for it," and I was like,
Yeah.
"How?" She goes,
Yeah,
"I
like, how
scanned his
though?
magic band." I'm like, "He's
Ooh.
not my husband. I have my own money." It drove me nuts. But anyway, all right, so we get back to we played. By the way, Holosabak delivered. That was so
That
much
was fun.
Yes, that was,
That
so
was
much
fun.
I really had a good time.
I didn't
with
expect to
Holosabak.
love that as much. I was
I
like,
didn't either.
I was expecting to be like, okay, that was fine, but let me move on. But
It was really fun.
I
We-
wanted to play more.
There wasn't a lot of people surrounding us while we were there.
No.
No,
It
because
wasn't
we were
ever
the
hard.
first ones in.
Oh, I
but
thought you meant
even-
for your whole voyage.
Even for the whole voyage.
Really?
Whenever
Oh,
we wanted to play,
yeah.
we just went and played.
Dang. For me,
Yeah,
there's always
for the-
people there
for the most part,
every time.
because there were a
It
good
was
amount of
often the
people
same
there.
like 10 people too. And I was
Yeah.
like, really, guys? Can you let somebody else?
That's
But
annoying. All right, Carrot, I gotta go grab something real quick.
Okay, so we're How Spock was fun. That was the first time I had ever played Spock.
It was
in general.
super intuitive too. Like
Yes.
it was a new version of Sabak. I've never played
Okay, was it?
Coruscant Shift, but I didn't sit down there.
That's what this was called, Coruscant
yeah, that's
Shift?
Coruscant Shift. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what the name of the one on Batu is, the one they sell, but that's the only one I've ever
Ah.
played. So I sat down expecting that gameplay, but
Okay.
the table it doesn't have any video or anything. Like it doesn't teach you how to play it. But
It's pretty easy.
I picked up on it
Yeah.
like 30 seconds in. I'm like, oh, I see what we're doing.
The,
It's like you have to match this number, and if you have a tiebreaker, you match this symbol. There you go.
Yeah, we had a passenger guest service person kind of just like explain it to us. And
Yeah.
And I pretty much picked it up. It asked that, like your suit. It's like poker. If you're a poker player, you're gonna pick this up quick.
I've never played
That's
poker,
how I
so that's
picked up
how easy
poker.
it was.
Or that's how I picked this up quick.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if you're if you've got a suit, you're trying to match the suit with
Holosabak
with
is
the
like
number.
a mixture of sorry and poker.
A
where
little
you
bit of
have
like
to, hit the
blackjack. A little.
Yeah.
thing that pops
Yeah.
up.
video poker.
I like
yeah.
how it rolls the die. The
Yeah.
dice. And that in the middle of the table like bounces the dice. They're
Like
physical
sorry.
dice.
Remember
Yeah.
it hits a little.
Yeah, and they pop. Yeah. That was very cool.
So yeah, Brad and I did that. We bought a bunch of stuff. Actually, playing Sabak made me buy a Sabak deck. I wasn't
I was
going
gonna
to
get
it.
one no matter what, but yeah, that made me say
Yeah,
I
it
have to
made me
have
want to do
get
it.
Yeah.
I got the well, I went on Shop Disney to get the shirt I wanted, but I got the Magic Band. I
Me
got
too.
the pin.
The one that was sold out, right? Yeah. That's the best looking shirt they have. Really, the clothing isn't that great. I didn't think.
Around this time, I think we had got the secret pin.
I think it's great Oh, that was a little later.
The in-universe clothing.
The in-universe stuff
pretty
is
damn
great
good.
if you're on the Star Cruiser. I don't see me wearing that in the Batu. Like,
Oh, I'm not wearing that.
I did,
doesn't
but I was
really-
dying. I wore it for like 2 hours.
The Batu aesthetic.
It does if you're a traveler just chilling on Batu.
That's true, but like
Yeah.
I look at Batu like I'm trying to fit into the planet.
Yeah.
And
If you're
so
being
for
a
me, it doesn't
local
fit
would
in-
not wear that.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in with the
Not
Batu
at all.
aesthetic.
You could almost make that Bail Organa thing work if you don't have the gold on there, maybe.
I was the only one who wore that, by the way.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
a lot of people wore that on my voyage. Maybe like 1 or 2 people.
Oh.
So this is where my memory starts to get fuzzy of all this. What did we do after this?
So this was the pin. This was the pin because
It was okay.
I'm pretty sure we bought those resistance pins.
It was annoying.
$12.99, whatever.
Oh, they're not. I thought they were included.
No,
I would have still got it if I had the option. But okay, I thought
we
it was
did. We
included.
both did because it was like God damn it, whatever. You made this fucking exclusive, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and you're not even pin guys, so
I am a little bit.
okay.
I'm
More
not
than,
like
more
a
than
super,
Brad, maybe.
super pin guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely more than Brad.
I might have like 100. I don't have a count, but maybe 100 pins total.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a pin guy.
Yeah, I like pretty much all the Donald pins.
Same.
A Walt. Yeah,
Ooh,
there it is.
Yeah, let me see that. I haven't got to hold it myself.
A
I
Walt
saw
pin.
one on
Yeah.
the ship.
So those of you who don't know, it's got the Halcyon on the front, but it's a secret resistance pin. If you flip it out and turn it around, it's got the
mean,
resistance
if,
logo.
if it's me, I'm not displaying that resistance scum logo. I'm displaying the Halcyon the whole time.
So
That's cool.
So after that, we got the pin, and then
Love it.
we were just moving around, getting things checked out, and then we went to the first lunch. Remember, we went to our first lunch a little bit after 1 o'clock, closer
That's
to
right.
2.
Yeah.
So this was the only time they asked us to sanitize our hands.
I thought that was weird
Well,
too.
wasn't
maybe,
that interesting?
maybe because that was the first time you were in that.
They
contained
did that
environment.
with us too.
But not every time you went in.
No,
Yeah, but
that
not
was
every
the
time.
only time.
Yeah. That was.
I think
weird.
that's just their way of saying it's here if you need it. Like
yeah,
we're showing it to you.
That's
so
not a bad point.
yeah, if you need it, here you go.
Brad and I completely missed the unlimited blue and green milk at first. It was just kind of hidden over there.
Really, huh?
Which
I
by
can
the
see
way,
that, but I
yeah.
saw it.
Which, by the way, much more diluted than the Parks version.
Super.
Like, you
super
can
good.
walk
I didn't
ar-
like it.
You can walk around with this.
I liked it way more.
Really, I
You
love the
can-
slushy consistency. So
You
I
can
was
walk
sad.
and drink it here, but on Batu, you have to kind of like chill and because it's a little heavy.
Yeah,
It's a little heavy on Batu.
it is big time.
So I remember that space grilled cheese standing out on the first meal.
Yeah, Taylor, that was her
That
probably
was my
favorite
favorite thing.
That was
on
Taylor's
the- on
favorite
the-
too.
As far as food.
I'm not
went.
huge on grilled cheese, but I did like it. So that's how you know
Yeah.
it's good.
Oh, and then we met our first. I keep calling them face characters, but like I think I'm gonna try to change the name to stage characters. We met Wani for the
Nice.
first time, like kind of first. She was the first stage character that we met because we were in the souvenir shop and just kind of turned and looked and like, oh my God, a Rodian's walking around.
She came up the stairs.
She is
Yeah.
the
To the right
first
of the
character
front
that
photo.
they released, or
Yeah.
the one that's the first one that comes out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and she is just walking around speaking Huttese to whoever's going to listen.
Yeah.
She's got one hell of a personality because she laughs at everything she says, like every three.
She's got a little sass too.
She does have
A little
sass, yeah,
sass. I
and,
like
and it comes into play later on in the story.
Oh yeah.
So Wani's walking around. I grabbed a selfie with her because I'm like, all right, this is cool. I didn't know how big of a part she was actually going to play. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That was nuts. But that's just the start of so much to come. And then Brad and I just kind of sat down for a minute. We were waiting for whatever the first thing at 4 was, the muster, right? Right.
Well, there's data pad orientation, and then there's muster. I
We
missed
didn't
that.
do any of that.
I missed data pad orientation.
we did muster,
Yeah, muster.
well,
is-
must you have to.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
we
I
didn't do
missed-
there was
data
like-
pad.
there was
yeah.
like the
I
data
missed the
pad
orientation.
training. There
which
was
you don't
the-
need.
we didn't do data
The
pad.
the ship tour, which we didn't.
That was optional though. The ship tour. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I
either.
didn't do any of it.
They
We
give
didn't
I
you
didn't do
like
anything.
they give you like 3 cool bits of info, but like you could find that out going up to your cast
I like
member
to
Adam and
explore.
be like, Adam, what's this thing? And he would tell you the same thing.
Oh yeah.
I love all of the just explore and go figure it out.
Did you see
Like
the
they don't tell you anything. They don't even tell you
Nope.
even about the terminals to scan into to
Nope.
like get access.
Yeah, you just
Not
got to
at all.
figure
You
it
just
out.
got to figure it out, and
Yep.
that's how we found that out pretty early. I was like, "What the hell is this thing?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well,
we just
scanned it.
messed
when
yeah.
you see the M-band scanning logo on there, your brain is like, okay, I tap
Yep.
it. Then you
Mhm.
go from there. Like it
Mm.
But, like, it's
spirals
so-
out.
It's such a slow burn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you see the tiny little cabin door?
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll
okay.
get to that in a
It
second.
took me a
yeah.
while. I didn't at first. I was like, "Is that
You
a
know whose that
droid
is?
door?" Yeah, now I do. It took no, it can't be a droid door because there's like an actual hotel room door. So I'm like, "Who is
We
that?"
thought it was a mouse droid thing at first. when we
yeah, I
first saw it.
thought it was
The
a
way we
droid,
found
but-
out was fucking cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, we will get there. So, so we ate and we kind of sat getting ready for muster. And as we're seated waiting for muster, we met SK620.
Yep.
He was just behind us.
Oh,
and
dang.
we just kind of got up and looked like, oh my God, it's an R2 droid just walking around.
I didn't see
rolling around.
SK until the muster happened.
Oh, no.
When he was up above, so it took me longer
But
to get to
we
see
sat
him.
down like an hour before.
That's
A
the
little
thing.
bit, yeah.
That's the
because
thing.
we were
I
like,
w-
we've done all. We had all the stuff we wanted
Yep.
to do up to that point done.
Yep. And that's how you.
We had
that's
gotten
the,
a drink
yeah.
or two, I think, at that point.
The
at
two,
Subway
yeah.
Lounge.
I ended up
And
having
you
the ice
shopped.
house
You got shopping done.
breaker.
Got
right now.
shopping done,
Yeah.
and so we're like,
That's the best way to do
let's
it.
get a good spot for the muster
Go
stuff.
hang out in the lounge and hang out in the atrium until story happens. Because
Mhm.
story will happen on a smaller scale before the story happens. You know, like you're saying, you ran into
Mhm.
Wani, you ran
Absolutely.
into SK. That's how you should do it.
Oh, and just a tad before that, Linka Mock came up to us and introduced herself.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Good
I didn't
for
see
you.
any of these people until the show started because I got to the atrium much closer to
Oh.
muster.
Okay.
So you guys, that's the way to do it. Go
Yeah.
to the atrium
We
in
got
the
like
lounge.
3 or 3:15. It was pretty
That's
early.
why I waited.
Mhm.
It was almost 4 when we got there, so that's
Yeah.
why we missed all that.
Yeah. So go early.
Yeah.
So
The times that they put on
I
your
would
data
say
pad.
don't worry about the data pad stuff. It's all pretty intuitive. My
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
recommendation would be to watch a video on how to use a data pad and use it from there. Or if you have any level of tech savvy, you're going to be fine.
Or if you've ever used the Play app on at
You'll
Disney,
be fine.
it's
And I
the
also would say
same
don't
thing.
worry about joining the 30-minute ship tour.
No.
It is way more fun to just explore.
You can
it
find
yourself.
out all that out on your own organically.
Well, it's only 2 stories.
Yeah. And you're going to see the story you're staying on, and then the other story has all the food and story elements.
Yep.
So you're going to see all the stories.
All right. So what do we do after that?
So we got together to muster and our Sajas. We met our Saja. We met her-
Sammy was leading my section, so that was cool to see. That was my introduction to him. It was
Oh,
like Sammy was
really?
leading
Sammy
our
was
station.
leading your section.
Yeah, he was
Sammy
fun.
did. Sammy came down a little bit
Way
into
later.
that story.
Okay.
A little more into that.
He came out for the first time on whatever
up
what
above.
upstairs
Yeah.
part
The bridge,
of the bridge.
the-
It's not the bridge.
It's
but
not
No.
a bridge. It's just a like
The cross-
the
observation
upstairs
observation deck
observation deck.
Sure.
for the crew
observation deck.
of the
Th-
ship.
It's
There
called
we go.
observation deck for the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crew deck.
Yeah.
Crew
Where
deck,
they
sure.
have the picture of like the galaxy behind them, and
Yeah.
it's called United Galaxy, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yep.
I think you're right.
It was gifted to the Halcyon by. Do you guys know this?
I don't know this. No.
By Leia Organa herself.
Oh.
Maybe we did know that. We just didn't know that's what
Yeah.
that was.
So we'll get to
'Cause
it when we
Leia
get to
and
the
the crews-
captain's
the
table.
captain were
yeah,
pretty
yeah. We'll get there
close.
in a
Yep.
second. She probably told us that. Then.
She probably did.
Yeah.
That was one other thing about the camp table we'll get to in a little bit, but like
yeah.
you couldn't hear her. At least I
No.
could. I was the exact opposite from her.
But
You
you
were.
I
also
couldn't really
it's-
see
it's
her. I
f-
couldn't.
Yeah, it's 40 hours of just information overload.
Oh my
so,
God.
All right,
especially
so-
for us canon junkies,
So
we're trying to get all
100%.
that.
I
so-
love those little nuggets.
So we muster and we meet our Saja for the first time, and this is the beginning of my favorite part of the story. Because we
Okay.
don't know much about the Sajas right now, except they're just kind of like
Like
crew-
cheerleaders.
like
or
cheerleaders.
something.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Bash.
That's what I
and-
thought too at first.
Yeah.
Like, really, we're going cheerleaders? Like, what's going on?
No, but this is very much like a cruise. Like you do muster. You
See,
have
I've
a,
never been on a cruise.
you have a
so-
leader who goes over like it's really more safety stuff.
Yeah,
Like because when you're on a real cruise, there's a real threat,
right.
right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you're on the fucking ocean.
There's some threats going on here. I was threatened every now and then.
Yes,
He said real threat.
real.
Yeah, it was real. I have brain damage. Remember, if you have brain damage, it's real.
So they got us all riled up, and then we got. I mean, you are colorblind, so
Yep.
they got us all riled up. We were, and we are the best. And there's 4 muster stations in
Yeah.
total.
They start with a A, B, C, D.
A, B,
I
C,
don't
D,
remember
yeah.
what A and C were, but Besh and Dorn. I was Dorn.
There you go.
And it was like after
Crash. C was
Crash. Yeah, that's
And
right.
Bash and
and
Crash.
A was like
Ard.
Akbar.
Arb.
Arb, I think. Allah Akbar, no.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, it was like Art. It was
Something like
it
that.
was
Something
similar
like
to
that.
Besh. It was like Aresh.
Oh, it might have been.
Might
I
have
think it
been.
was Aresh.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been.
So
So
it was close to Arabesh. And I was like, that's kind of close.
then we
Yeah.
get the captain's speech. Linka talks. They introduce SK620 to us, and there's story stuff in here, but there's not. This is really just much. You're getting to know these characters on the grand stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're assuring you that nothing's going to happen.
It's a lot of like
We're
exposition.
under observation from
From
the
the
first order,
First
but that
Order.
doesn't mean anything bad's gonna happen.
Exactly.
It's that kind of like misdirect. Like, just go have fun, enjoy, explore the ship. If something were to happen, remember your Besh. Remember your
Yeah, remember your
remember-
best. If something were to happen, you
remember your
come
muster
here.
station
Yeah.
and come back here as soon as you can.
So then I remember I remember Linka Mock sticking out during this because
Me too.
Well, she leads the show here.
Right.
She is your introduction
She's
to
your
this
introduction,
universe.
and why she's stands out to me, it's because she was so fucking authentic.
Yeah.
Her
She's
smile
charismatic,
looked
too.
real.
Yep.
Her talking to us, like, and the fact that these people, these actors, are just like organically reading a script to
And
us
Yeah.
is nuts.
Now, their improv obviously doesn't happen every day, but they're doing the same script 2 or 3 times a week. So,
Yep.
like, the fact that I had a different Linka Mock actress than you guys had, but it was the same thing. Her
Act
laugh,
person now, thank you.
act person, act toaster, whatever you want to
I'm
call
kidding.
yourself. Her laugh and
they.
her smile, her laugh and her smile and her face, just every time she says this script to you or us
Yep.
or anybody, just it was real. So, and then
Yep.
she does do improv later, but yeah, I believed her character 100%. And if she's the first one you're really fully introduced to in terms of the story, so
Pretty
if
much, yeah.
if she flops, then most is probably gonna flop. So
And
she's
then-
got a lot going on with her.
And then Captain Kevin, like, I just loved, like, she was a captain. She carried
Yeah.
herself like a fucking captain
Mhm.
of a ship.
She was
Yeah.
one of the characters I was the most iffy about because
Same.
I was I don't love the look, and
Okay.
it kind of
Yeah.
she comes off in photos kind of creepy looking.
Dude, when you
But
like
big
look
time,
at her
big
in her
time.
eyes, like, holy
It's
shit.
and it,
Yeah.
But the second she engages with you,
Yeah.
it all.
But if
goes
you get on her
away.
bad side, though, when she gets angry,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
a little
she-
wild.
She
Uh-huh.
yelled
Yeah.
at
She's yelled
was
at
it Wraith,
Sammy
right?
before.
Yeah,
and
She
Sammy
yelled
Ray.
at
right?
Sammy a lot
Yeah.
during the well, we'll get to it, but during
Yeah.
the finale, she was yelling at Sammy quite a bit because he
Yep.
was trying to do what he was.
She
trying
yells
to
at
do.
Croy a lot too.
And one of my favorite interactions with Captain, I'll talk about it now because it was at the captain's table.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, how do you feel personally about the First Order being on board?
Oh.
right.
And she goes, well, as a employee of Chandrilla Starline, it
Yep.
is. It was this long, drawn-out answer.
The
of
corporate
like, of-
response.
it was a
Exactly.
corporate
I love that.
response, And
I
then
love
she goes,
that.
but we're all entitled to our own opinions, and I would rather them not be here. Like, it was basically that. It was basically like a.
She's like, as my
And it-
name, Royola Kevin, I don't like it.
It
but-
was so good.
Yeah.
It was, and I remember looking at you. I was like, "This is so cool, man."
So
It's
the best,
sick.
my favorite interaction with her, since we're talking about her, was Captain's Table 2. When I asked her how long she's been a captain, and then she went into how long she had her license, how she
Oh,
got
shoot.
it, how she started, and then she just casually mentioned that Leia used the Halcyon as a replacement for Tantive 4.
Oh, I didn't
To
know
us.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then, like, I
That's
remember
so
Brad and I
cool.
looking at each other, just like,
This ship has been under so many people's hands. It was a
That happened, like,
Imperial
3
ship
times.
too.
Yeah.
The Empire took it over.
oh,
And it was a lieutenant, like upper
save
management. Yeah, we'll get there. But
Yeah,
that was cool. So it's been under a lot of different hands.
yes.
Man. How did she give you a year or ish? How long she's been captain?
Oh, fuck. She did.
Because in the comics,
She did.
they
don't
they have
remember.
an episode. They have an
Shit.
issue of the comics with Aura Singh in it from the Clone Wars era, and
Issue number
Kevin is
2.
Kevin is issue number 2. Kevin is the captain then.
Oh.
So that's at least 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
So-
50 years of its timeline. She's been the captain.
She gets killed because Aura Singh gets killed by Beckett before,
Right.
before
Solo.
Solo.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's got to be about 50 years.
Yeah.
that's
That's
cool.
right.
So
Stupid
it's 275 years old, and she's been captain for at least 50 of that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
So then we get to know SK620 a bit. Know that he's probably going to have more to do with the story, and he does.
Yeah.
And then, this is assuming we're Evan raised to full attention.
Oh yeah.
But the Halcyon gets docked by
One Lieutenant Harmon Croy of
The
the First
First
Order.
Order.
I
God
love it.
damn.
I love the way he speaks.
This
He
guy
was my
Lieutenant
favorite
Harmon
character.
Croy.
Fucking
His face is amazing.
awesome.
He's a great actor, man. He's crazy. But
This
Disney needs to do whatever they can to keep this guy around because he is.
before he
lifetime
goes to
contract.
Hollywood,
pay him
what-
him
what-
now.
Pay him a million
Whatever
a
it
year.
is,
Whatever
whatever it is.
whatever-
He's
I mean,
worth it
He's
now.
worth that 100%.
yes.
He is such a talented actor,
Insane.
especially when it
Insane.
comes to First
His
Order
improv
stuff.
is crazy too.
Do
Do you guys know his
Insane.
name? If not, I'm going to find it.
No, I don't
I wanna-
know his
I wanna
name. But I
shout it
saw.
out.
I knew someone told me it.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Sage,
that was Sammy. Never mind.
Sage.
I forget
Sage
Arlinka's name,
tagged him in
but
something, so I'm gonna
Taylor
go back and
friended Arlinka on Facebook. So
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
We've got a list of people we're trying to get on the
Yeah.
show.
oh my gosh,
I'm
I'd love to get any
actually
of them.
starting. I'm going to try to go. Not that she's a low character, but I feel like we'd be able to get Lebeth on before anybody else.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, hey,
It's gonna be
Asaja
hard to get
maybe start
anybody
with
on, I think,
Asaja.
just because they're all cast members.
It'd be great to get Asaja. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Asaja is also a Ray, but
Our Saja
One of
was
them
a
is. One of them is. One of them
piece.
is definitely Ray.
She was hot.
But so when Harmon Croy docks, he docks using not the same exact ship from The Last Jedi because it crashes on Crate, but one of my shuttles that, why am I forgetting the names? Because they're not important to the Halcyon, really. Finn and Rose steal a First Order shuttle, and it's that same type of shuttle that Croy uses. You see it on like the holo scan looking.
Yes, I noticed that
holo message thing in the atrium
before they docked. Yeah.
Those things are cool. If you look at them, they're playing the story the whole time. Sometimes they're showing this message that relates to this part. Another message relates to this part.
Once the First Order takes over, they're showing the First Order
to
banners
red
and
with TIE fighters and banners. And
I loved those.
It's so cool.
That's one of those things that lives up to the hype and the
Did you notice the little plug ports for SK to plug into? Yeah, I love that. It looks just like
did.
R2 plugs in the movies. He goes up and
fantastic.
plugs. Yeah.
So then Lieutenant Croy he starts talking, and then you immediately fall in love with this guy.
Half the building cheered when he walked in. It was it was great.
I cheered. I was excited to see this guy.
Oh yeah.
Especially since at first I was kind of leaning that way, and then I eventually just decided to play the First Order and turn on him.
Part of that was because my shit didn't work, and we both knew we wanted to see the Yoda thing.
Yeah.
Which I apologize. I had worries about it. I told him we were saying, I was like, I got a feeling it's not gonna work. I told him I was like, he's like, why are you so worried?
That's true, because of the 140.
Because I knew. It would, I was surprised the Magic Band was even there when we got there.
Will this apply to Magic Band Pluses, you think, when it comes out?
I'm creating
It's the same. Okay, but it's probably the same, like, whatever you call it.
Should be the same infrastructure.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
If you have 140 Magic Bands, just because you get exactly, just because you get one new Magic Band Plus, it doesn't erase the fact that there's 144 in front of it.
I don't know. I don't think so. It should just be its own separate thing. But
yeah. So
where were we?
Croy comes in, and we get a little bit of everyone's allegiances here, because Captain's, giving a little bit of speech. It's like, hey, you don't belong on the ship. You're not on the registry. And he's like, oh, I'm on it. And I'm, what's he say? He's like, I'm conducting
an
investigation for the First Order because of the ports of call coincide with resistance activities.
Yep.
And then Linka kind of stands up for the ship and herself, and she's like, oh, because the captain's like, that's preposterous. There's no way. And Harmon is like, oh, I agree. That would be treason. And then Linka steps up, and she says, or reason. And it's like, that's when you're like, oh, okay, so we see where you're at, Linka.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then Keevan kind of is like, hey, shut up. She's like, Linka. So you can tell Captain Keevan is always trying to keep the best interest of the passengers and the ship. That's her priority.
Well, that's what she says as much. She's like, the passengers on board are not, there's no resistance. There's no reason to assume resistance sympathizers are here. Like, leave us alone. There's no proof, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's why I love that first dinner so much. You're able to talk to her and be like, so what do you think about this? And she's like, well.
So let's kind of move it along there then. They disperse. Croy comes down.
We get toast with Wraith. This is Wraith's introduction,
that's
too.
That's right, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that.
Wraith is awesome. You guys had the same Wraith I had. I think he's the best. I've seen 3 different ones
this
total.
This was his. Okay, that's right. He was introduced from the middle of the room.
Yep.
And I remember when we saw him, I'm like, I got a message from him. I got to talk to him.
Yeah, because Captain Keevan's like, and Gaia's here to perform. And everyone's like, woo! And then there's no Gaia. And at first I was like, wait, did Gaia get cut? Or
that's what
what happened? I thought it was real. So then Wraith is like, yes, we got Gaia. But that sounds like Jeff Goldblum. We have to
go pick her up.
We must pick up Gaia. Yes. And
she's not quite on the ship yet.
Yeah, and Captain Keevan was like,
which makes
you expect us to go pick her up. And he's like, yeah, she's the star, right? This is the Star Cruiser.
Everyone's here for this, right?
Yeah, so we go and pick her up. And we get the toast from Wraith. Even Lieutenant Croy partakes in the toast. I love it. They all have drinks. Theirs are non-alcoholic. Ours are 2 because they're handed to us included. But
remember to say your thing.
Yeah, Brad's favorite phrase.
Drink. No.
What?
I was supposed to remind you to mention that these characters can drink.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I've always found this fascinating since we were on the ship. I've thought about this a lot. They let the characters drink in front of you, which is something Disney doesn't
Mocktails,
do.
but
like
still.
But it's implied that it's a real alcoholic drink.
Yes.
It's implied.
I saw Wraith take one right from Lebet's hands.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just among the guests drinking.
Exactly.
Which is something Disney doesn't do. I mean, when I was a cast member, it was like even drinking your water bottle on stage, they're like, if you can, do it off stage. If you have to, fine. But like if you can,
if it's 107 degrees
and you're wearing black
dying,
pants,
then maybe think about it. Ask a coordinator or a leader
if you can run off stage. If there's no one available, then take a sip. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's how they go.
it was a really cool, refreshing thing.
And it's
that
not
added
just
story.
it's not just in the lounge. They're walking around. They're
100%.
carried out
Our
in the hallways.
Saja was
and-
carrying one of the little metal, or
Yeah.
the dude Saja, the good-looking guy, that guy.
The guy that Brad's gonna run away with.
Yeah.
He
was the one that you said was a piece. It was him.
he was also a piece.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was just cool to see like that
Yeah.
little bit of detail that just adds to the realism
that,
of the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one random thing makes it really realistic. If
Yeah.
they weren't drinking, I wouldn't notice it.
I actually wonder if it was
But-
just colored water.
It definitely
Could have been
I bet money it was probably just
It
colored
either
that.
was or it was just like juice,
Like soda,
Yeah,
like
one of the
Powerade
two.
or something like
like
that.
Diet
Yeah.
Coke or like a Sprite. If it was clear, it's
They
probably
use the
Sprite
same
or something.
glasses and they take it from the same
Yeah,
cast members
same
and
person.
bartenders
It's
that
cool.
you take yours from. So,
So
it's
they-
believable.
Labeth probably knows when she sees Wraith or a character walk up who can drink. To
Yeah, I would
squirt him out
assume
of the
so.
one underneath the table. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. All right.
So we get the toast, and then
Toast.
Wani plays a little bit, and that's fun.
Yeah. Wani does play a
in
bit.
the atrium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know
up
who's
above
top.
on the observation deck,
That's
playing
right.
her little keyboard, whatever.
And that was fun. And
It's
This
then-
like
was
a
back when
guitar.
I was like back and forth a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we went right to Croy when he came down.
So did we. So did we.
That's
yeah,
right.
We
yeah,
went,
yeah,
we went right
yeah,
over
yeah.
to Croy because we're like, we gotta
And
get
I just
start
started talking
with this
smack.
motherfucker.
Just
Yeah.
started talking
Yeah.
smack.
He asked our names and like our position and stuff, so we told him our name, and from that point on, he knew our names. It was great.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was when they knew our names from that point. When you
yeah.
start
And then
interacting
like
with
10 minutes later, we got text from him. Like it's
Yeah.
insane.
This
Yeah.
is the part where I go like, if you're someone who's just tagging along, you're gonna have to, if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to have the most fun out of it as humanly possible, you're gonna have to put yourself out there and interact with these characters.
Yeah.
They will come up to you. I would assume they come up to everybody at least once,
Yeah.
and they kind of
Even
judge your interest by that point. But
the only one that didn't was Kevin for us, but Lenka judged us and Sammy judged us and
Kevin.
Wani talked to
Who's
us.
Kevin?
Captain Kevin.
Captain Keith.
Kevin, duh.
So they all came up and judged us for sure, except Captain Kevin.
Interesting.
But
See, I feel like
yeah.
they'll do like a soft touch where they kind of go up and like, hey,
Yeah.
how are you? And
Yeah.
then like send you a thing on your data pad, and if you don't respond, you don't respond.
Right.
But
100%.
you gotta. I'm curious about somebody who's like my dad, who is a Star Wars fan. But I don't know if he would be into this.
This is the only environment I'm comfortable doing this in.
I'm
Going
not-
into
don't
it, I
like-
was like, Taylor, you're gonna have to help me step out. But
he was-
she didn't
he
have
was,
to.
Tom
I
was the
just did
one
it.
doing all of the interacting for the most part, but I was enjoying watching you interact and like
Yeah.
having, because I don't enjoy it myself. But
I loved that shit.
I loved it. I ended up probably
I
doing
liked
more
wa-
than
you
Taylor
were
did.
in-
I got into it more
Yeah.
as,
Oh, you
as
absolutely
as it
did.
went
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, you
but
you comfort yourself in. You kind of nestle
Well,
yourself.
which is weird because I'm not like a shy person,
No.
but like I just don't like.
Yeah.
I just it feels weird. But the cool thing about this is like it doesn't feel weird here.
No,
Nope.
God no.
Like, and
Well,
I had
because
that
it's
took
not
me a minute
like-
to get over. Like it because normally
Yeah.
like when you go like go hug Olaf or something.
I was gonna say because it's not like you're
It's
in
weird for a
Epcot
second.
waiting an hour to
Or
see
you're at
Anna
a-
and Elsa in a wooden
Yeah.
room when you know you're not in Arendelle.
you're at and it's not like you're like at a character breakfast and Donald walks up and
Yeah.
you can't
Why you had a
talk to Donald.
mouthful of,
Yeah.
of
Like
Mickey
cheesy
waffles,
potatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, wait, give me a second. Let me
strawberry
finish.
soup or whatever the hell they have
Yeah.
at 1900 Park Fair.
Oh my God, I forgot about that shit.
Strawberry soup is the shit, dude.
I haven't
Strawberry
had that.
bisque, I think is
I
what.
forgot about
what
that,
they
Sounds
yeah.
call it.
good.
1900
It's still
Fair is
good, dude.
legit.
But yeah, it's a different kind of character interaction, and it's
Yeah.
because I was even. It took me till like day 2 to realize like, oh, these interactions aren't going to be a meet and greet interaction.
No.
No way.
At one point, we talked to Wraith for I think it was 15 minutes, uninterrupted.
Easily. I
And
thought
he
it
does
was
It
that
might,
like
have, it
20.
might have been longer than that.
It was
He
like
d-
20 minutes.
He does
it
that
was
with most
good.
of the passengers too. He
Yeah.
doesn't miss
Wani,
anybody.
Wani came up to us when
During
we were
it.
talking to
Yeah,
Wraith.
you're right.
So we'd spend like 10 minutes with Wraith and Wani going back and forth. That's when we learned about the Twi'lek singing stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Twi'lek, by the way.
Huge
Been
important
saying that
thing.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was Twi'lek.
I guess it's both, but the
Nope.
Twi'leks
Not
themselves say
anymore.
Twi'lek.
It's Twi'lek.
Yeah. And he told us about the singing stone because we were talking about, I've got my Kyber crystal necklace on. You had yours on.
Mhm.
We were talking about that with Wraith. He said, you know what this is? You know.
By the way, that's how our interaction with the Sajas got intense. Was we were talking to her to the side of by
Yeah,
the,
that was-
the hologram.
yeah,
That was the
that was-
second. That was after lightsaber training,
Yes.
which we'll get to.
We'll get to that point because I want to
Okay.
talk about that
Okay.
for a hot minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So day 1, then we went from all
So-
of this.
So all this was
to
lightsaber training.
lightsaber training.
You and I had
yeah.
lightsaber training right before dinner.
After the toast too, we keep getting back to this, but after the toast, the ship jumps to light speed for the first time,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
and
Okay.
everyone freaks out
Mhm.
because it's cool. And
That-
like,
I
yeah, it's
thought it
cool.
was amazing.
Yeah, it's
the,
really
the,
cool.
The
I love it in the
visuals
room.
Of it looks so
Love it in the
good.
room.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Yep.
We can talk about this. 'cause
and they
this
say
is
the toast to
current.
Buite. We didn't.
To
To
Buite.
Buite.
To titty say.
To Titty Say,
Yeah,
Big
that
Titty
one.
Bay.
Yeah.
I wish the bridge was open more. I was a little annoyed that you
I thought it
couldn't
was
just
open
walk
a
in.
lot.
It was closed most of the time we were there.
No, we just didn't get into it in the beginning as much. He's right. I do recall
think
it being
so?
open.
I don't think it is enough.
when
I
they
agree,
started-
but I
no,
think it's
it
more
wasn't
than you
because
think.
remember people had those fucking pictures that they were taking. I mean, we
That
couldn't
was-
do-
That was me. Yay!
Fuck you.
You got to pay for that.
Ugh. But for the first day, it was constantly filled with those people. We couldn't get in. I remember standing there watching them, being like,
I thought that was the second day when we got back from
"No,
Batu.
dude, it was
but
definitely first day."
okay.
Because I wanted to go in there and like fiddle with stuff on the first
Yeah.
day because I wanted to see everything. Because I was like, I want to see the planets. Like, how do we move?
We were
past
even
all
going to
this?
record the 30-minute podcast we did from there.
From
we
the
were
bridge,
trying
yeah.
to
Oh,
do it
that
from
would
the
have been
bridge.
awesome. You guys
Yeah,
did it
that
in
was
the
the-
room.
that
That
was-
would
Yeah.
have been awesome.
That was about
bridge.
the only place. If
We
we
were
did it
going to do it in the
atrium,
atrium, but we just felt like it would
It's
be
loud
'cause
in
we,
the atrium.
We didn't have
like,
microphones like these microphones. We were like, let's just do it in the room.
It would have been hard
It would
because
have
it's
been
loud.
hard.
in there.
engineering room was locked.
Yeah. The brig could have
The
locked
brig
yourselves in
would've
the
been
brig.
fun.
Could have done it.
That
in the
would've
brig,
been
You
yeah.
could have
Yeah.
done it in the
Brig.
dining hall, Crown of Corellia.
Yeah, that's open 24/7.
No, because this was like
we opened the
12:30.
door and they were cleaning it. Remember?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because it was past 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
funny.
so where do we go from here?
Lightsaber training.
Lightsaber training.
Lightsaber
okay.
training. We get into lightsaber training. Our Saja meets us there. The same Saja.
Who's
and
our Besh
this?
person?
Yes, Besh. This is about the start of my favorite story, like right here,
Yeah. me too.
because we get the sabers. They're very light,
very small.
very small and light.
Yep.
But I was fine with it. It lit up
Didn't
very
bother
cool.
me. It just
lit
felt
up
like-
very naturally. Just
Well, it's a
Yeah,
Neo, so
it's
if
a
you're
NeoPixel.
familiar with Neos, it's the same thing.
They felt small. They felt toyish.
Yeah.
I thought they could have been a little bigger. I mean, it's a nitpick, but it was fine. So this is something that when you did the podcast, Evan, you were you were pretty vocal
Do
about.
they
not
address
enjoying.
why it's not a real lightsaber? Because they didn't for us. Did I miss something?
No, but I also don't understand why. Well, they never said it wasn't, but like I don't understand why they have this on board. That was never introduced as
Well,
part of the story.
Probably just because somewhere along the line somebody owned it and had lightsaber stuff. I mean, I guess.
But that's not that's not a canon answer. Is probably something happened.
well,
at
no,
some
I don't know
point.
the canon answer, but that makes sense.
But it makes sense. But like, I want to know why they have a lightsaber on board. Whose lightsaber is it?
If it's real.
Where does it come from? Why are you just taking these people who, at this point, the Jedi are kind of toast, into a room and talking about the Force in general? And like, why
Yeah.
is this part of this?
Our
period?
Saja explained to us a little bit. She didn't reveal that she was a guardian of the will yet,
Yeah.
but she very much revealed to us that she knows the Force. She didn't wield the Force, so it's like part of her job is to just kind of guide us. It'd be like a mentor.
But why is this on board? Why do you
Yeah.
have
I
4
don't know.
identical lightsabers
That's
on
another
board?
reason why I didn't
Who knows?
like this as much, because it didn't make a ton of sense to me.
I mean, the real reason is it's Star Wars, and they want to have people who are in Star Wars holding a lightsaber. That's
Yeah.
that's the real
And I'm
reason.
okay with
but
that,
like,
yeah.
it's fine.
I brought my own though, so I don't
And
need
I-
to waste 30 minutes.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was not a highlight, but it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
And it opens the door further down the line, especially for if you do well at it and like enjoy it and talk to the Sajas for other stuff that we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we're getting there.
But I liked it way more than you did.
Oh,
you said
easily.
you wouldn't do it again.
I'm not
I
doing
would
it again.
definitely 100%
Never
do it
again.
again. I had fun with the shields. The shields were fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated the shields.
I love
I just
the
stood there
shields.
holding the shield by my side after like 5 minutes. I'm like, all right,
The
done.
the best part of
Had fun with
lightsaber
it.
training, for me was I did my third go around one-handed like Anakin because I just wanted to be
Yeah.
an Anakin. So and she had remember she made mention lightsaber fighting style 3.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
think
that's
she
cool.
said-
She knew
yeah.
the forms.
She knew
All
the forms,
7
and then
forms? That's cool.
on a whim when I said
This was fucking awesome.
when I was told her I'm like, oh, I was using one hand like Anakin. She's like, oh, form 7. Like I'm like,
That's
oh my
cool.
god,
That's
like,
cool.
that was fucking
that was.
cool.
I think I have that on
Man,
camera.
yeah.
It's
actually.
almost worth doing it for that, but it's not.
Oh, it was cool. I had fun. I had so much fun with it. It's not anything that's going to blow your mind, but I
That's
think
cool.
it was fun enough for what it
Yeah,
was.
it looks so much better than Josh D'Amaro's
oh, I know.
like awkward
I feel like
bending
it
down.
looked just like that.
Nah.
No, I had more
No.
fun with it. And then moving
Yeah.
out of the wall was really cool. I wasn't expecting
And then
that.
I didn't know Yoda was going to be talking to us during it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I mean, I didn't either, but when I did, I was like, oh, Savis, gotcha.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
we-
We've done this before.
It's
Gotcha.
Savis, I know, but some people aren't doing Savis, and this
Yeah.
was cool.
And
for
this
them.
is
true.
cool. This is
Yeah,
cool
it's
for people
true.
who don't get to do
and
Savis.
it also plays into a story.
Yes, it
but-
does.
All right.
What was I
So
gonna
right after
say?
lightsaber.
Crap. Cool thing about the Sajas too. I don't know if you probably did. You got in the atrium at just random times. there's just Sajas like meditating in the atrium.
Yes.
Did you see that?
We saw one
Like sitting cross-legged on the floor.
I
Like
didn't
no,
recognize
we
it.
saw we saw your new boyfriend upstairs like meditating. Like
Yeah.
he was like
on the observation deck.
doing
yoga. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
they're
forgot
just
about
randomly
that.
up there. It's so cool. It's
Yeah, that
it's
is cool.
world building. It's
That
like
is very cool.
because you're like, oh, they're cast members, so they must be on break if they're not doing lightsaber training. But then you see them later not in lightsaber training, but they're still on stage doing things. So it's like, oh, they're not just cast members; they're real people. But like, they're not. But like, in the story, they're actually doing stuff other than their job of lightsaber training.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's very cool.
So
World
we wrapped up lightsaber training and right to dinner 5:30. So we
Which
went
I
right
was
to the
late to
captain's
because I had
table.
to go change.
Yeah, Brad was just a smidge late. The captain did get there. She started everything. She
I was
gave a
bummed
toast.
by this.
With the champagne flutes, you
Yes.
guys got you
Yeah, the
fancy
champagne
mothers.
flutes, and then the toast, and then Brad got there like right after that.
I was
and
3 minutes late.
yeah, and then
Not
she,
bad.
and then but it was kind of cool because she gave a toast to tardiness to Brad.
Yeah, that was cool. So to tardiness. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
eh.
funny.
So then from there, people were asking her questions. And then it kind of was like, man, I better like take my chance here to ask a question. And that's
Shoot
when
your shot.
And we had already mentioned this, so we'll kind of get to the point that I wanted to get to, what she talked about with Leia and Tangent 4, and what she shared with you had made mention earlier. I can't remember exactly, but I know you made a point. So then
About the First Order.
But that's right. 25, 30 minutes in, right? The Saja for
A.
Muster A came to her, panicked, got her up, and then when she was to the right of us, we heard Vi Marati's name.
Oh,
So,
I love that.
Yeah. So
I
here's
didn't
one
hear
thing
any
I
mention
loved
of Vi on my
about
voyage.
this is the first time I noticed this, and I noticed it a lot more going forward because it was the first time they did like people management. I looked over you and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Vi Marati."
yeah.
And then you like watch them walk, and they're still talking like they're fully in
Yes.
character.
Yep.
And then they get to this point where they're like having a full-on in-story,
It gets
conversation.
intense too. There's a lot of like finger points
Yeah.
and like facial
and
expressions.
it seems real. It doesn't seem over the
They
top.
might not
It's
even be saying anything for all we know.
I
might
bet
be
you
like-
they are because
I
they're,
think
they're
they are
around
because
people.
they're around people.
Yeah.
I want to follow that conversation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And they're just like talking and
it's all of them. They're
and
Rafe
then, like,
has conversations with
it's a
all of
natural.
them.
It's like someone's direct. Like it's truly like someone storyboarded these scenes, had someone act them,
Yep.
and like we're like cut, and then like okay, well, now we're bringing this story in, and it's like they truly built a
Yeah.
movie,
Yep.
and like cuts and edits the way you would do a movie because like
yeah.
then as soon as they're like off to the side doing something else and you look for a second, then like Wraith comes on and
They're
you're just
almost
like,
like-
okay,
They're almost like NPCs. They just go off and they're doing
Yeah.
something in the background.
and then they get involved later on and
Yeah.
but they're there the whole time.
It's
Like,
authentically Star Wars.
it's
There's
insane.
always something happening.
It's
Yeah.
insane. Like no matter where you look, there's something going on. So we
Yep.
Captain's Table. We'll give our review of Captain's Table. In short, I thought it was fantastic. It was worth every penny.
Mhm.
The champagne flute toast was a great
Food.
addition. The food
Food
was
was fine.
better. It was
Look good. Look good.
The soup shooter was crazy.
that, and the tofu,
Yeah.
which I'm not a tofu person
Neither am
on any level. It was probably the best thing
It
of
was
the
good.
entire meal.
Yeah.
Dang. Nice.
Then you get the medallion, and
Yes.
interacting with the captain was cool.
Okay, so we finally got the definitive answer on
Yeah.
the medallion. I'm glad I have one, but I was told differently that it's not Captain's Table, but it is.
It is.
So
It was
if you-
definitely for
if you-
ours,
It was
yeah.
sat out. It was sat out. At the
If you
captain's
want a
table.
Captain's Table medallion, I don't know, whatever you call it, the Halcyon medallion,
Medallion.
you need Captain's Table to get it.
Yes.
It's only 11 people that do this, so
Yep.
it's very hard to get. So
Well,
the first time you book,
44 people, right?
no,
there's
they only
4
do-
dinners.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
44
22 a night.
people.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
22 a night, and there's 2 of them. Yeah, 44. But that's still not a lot of people. It's 1% of your cruise.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
10% of the cruise.
And we were slumming it with Club 33ers. Like we were the bottom feeders at that table.
Yeah,
Shit.
we were.
I got a really good table, though.
Oh,
Not-
the
obviously
dude
not as
to the
good
left
as
of us
yours,
that
but
kept complaining about the sequel trilogy while he's sitting
Oh,
in the
that
sequel
fat
trilogy. I was like,
you're
"You're
living
idiots."
in the sequel trilogy. Like,
You're a
come
moron.
on.
I turned to Brad and said, like, if it weren't for Disney and the sequel trilogy,
This wouldn't
th-
exist.
This guy wouldn't be sitting here right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So, blah.
Anyway.
So, Captain's
But
Table.
my table we had was 8 feet from the Captain's Table, and looking back on it, the more and more I look at it, the more I go, Captain's Table's worth it. You
Worth
gotta
it. I
do
mean, like when you look at a cocktail, and the cocktail I got at dinner was $15. That's half of the Captain's Table price right there. Per
Yeah.
Yep.
person. It's worth.
plus
every
one
penny.
of them gets lobster, so like that's another big thing on.
I
there,
would
like,
recommend probably the food was better night 2. I think overall, I would probably say if you have a choice, I would probably go with dinner 2, especially because you told me this. that Lieutenant Croy joins you at dinner on Captain Night.
We saw
Table
that.
Night too.
Yeah.
And he does like a toast to the First Order.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah. I want dinner too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I would do Captain's Table dinner 2 next time.
Yeah, I'll
Mhm.
take any of them, but if I can pick, I'm picking night
Night 2. Sorry,
Yeah.
not dinner 2. Night 2.
Night
Yes,
two.
night 2. Yeah,
Night two.
because he does. Croy shows up during night 1. And he
watch
Shows up
Gaia.
late.
Oh my
I love
God.
that. Yep.
Oh my God, that shit with Gaia.
I love. Did he like fall in love with Gaia while you were?
I didn't see it in my voyage, but I've seen it in other
Oh,
people's
really?
voyages.
He
and
was
now
100% in.
He was
on Gaia.
so into Gaia.
Huh, okay.
Like he was
He
when
was like couldn't talk around.
maybe
her.
when
this
we-
has evolved over time because I was on the 5th voyage and
That's
it
true.
wasn't really evident. But maybe they've started
when
playing
we
that
got
up more.
to the atrium after dinner. Somebody asked him, "Did you see Gaia?" And he's like, "Were you there? Wasn't it glorious?" Like it's like he was
Wasn't
so
she
obsessed with her.
absolutely
Yeah.
incredible?
Yes.
That's fair because maybe so. My first dinner, I didn't have Captain's Table at all. But my first dinner, the dinner with Gaia, the one you guys are talking about,
Were you 5:30 or the
5:30.
Okay, okay.
5:30 for both. So after the performance was done, we were still in the room eating because like you
Yeah.
still eat.
We
Yeah,
were, we were the
we
last
stayed
ones
a
out.
little
Yeah,
bit,
you
yeah.
can still stay and eat, but the performance was done. I had got up to go back to the room or something, I don't know, but I left the dining hall, and as I was walking out, Lieutenant Croy was across the hallway, and there's like 50 people between me and him, and he like beeline through the crowd. I think I said this on our show, that to get to me, and
Good.
he said the same thing to me. He was like, what'd you think of the show? What'd you think? And I was like, oh, it was good. Gaia seemed to be trying to poke fun at you a little bit, and Croy was like, no, we were just sparring back and forth, a bit of playful sparring. So maybe I just didn't see it, but maybe there was some love connection going on.
Where we
on
were,
my
he was
voyage.
right next to us.
Yes.
We could see his like face, like
Yeah.
he was literally from Tom.
Yeah.
From me to Tom
Yeah,
was him from where we were sitting because Guy was directly behind me,
yeah.
like directly.
Mhm.
So he was like kind of off to the side from me, and you could watch him. He was like standing up and clapping. Like
Yeah.
it
That's awesome.
reminded me a lot of the dude from Who Framed Roger Rabbit watching Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That with Eddie,
can
the
see
guy
that.
sitting next to Eddie Valiant with
Yeah.
it was Acme, right? Wasn't it?
Mhm.
yeah. He ends up playing patty
Maroon or
cake
whatever.
later.
Yeah.
Patty
it,
cake.
He reminded me of that guy a lot.
Yeah. So then
like,
after
love it
he
that
talked to
much.
me about Gaia, he's like, now don't forget we have that meeting in the atrium later, right? And I was like, yes, I'll see you there, sir. And then as I left his conversation to go back to the table, I passed Linka Mock, and she knew my character. I was a regional governor. So she nodded at me and said, "Governor."
Oh,
And
I
said,
love it.
I said,
No,
I said
really?
director. Yeah, I said director back. That was like my only interaction
Yeah,
with her.
because-
That's awesome.
But she knew what I was, so that was cool.
Saja, the Saja called my name out the most
That's
out
cool.
of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Borel, and then
That's
Wraith
cool.
did a lot too.
Yeah, he
and so
did.
did Sammy. Sammy did it a few times.
Yeah, that's true. And then they either remember your name or they remember where you're from.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot
I'm
of.
sure Chewy said your
from
names
Kajimi.
too.
You're the
You
guy
guys
from
just
Jimmy,
didn't.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're from Kajimi. I know somebody from Kajimi.
Your mom
too.
beat you, right?
Yeah. So two more things that happened during the dinner. So much happened during this. Chewy showed up.
Yep.
It's
Snuck in.
the first time we
Yeah,
saw Chewy.
Say your your perspectives, and I want to say what my perspective on that. So go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Chewy was like kind of sneaking down below, and then this is also when we met Sandro. I forgot. He just kind of shows up, and
Oh,
this is
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they pull him from the crowd.
yeah.
Yeah, you think he's a part of
This
it.
is your
Yes.
first
for a
time seeing
second.
him. You've never seen him before, so
No.
you
He's-
think he's a passenger.
I don't
Yeah.
mean this in a mean way. He was kind of unassuming.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
you
That's
don't-
the point of
like,
it.
That's the point of his
yeah,
character.
it's one of the
Yeah.
characters
And he has booked a cruise because
you
he knows Gaia's on the
Yes.
cruise,
Yeah.
and he wants to make an
He
impression
sold
with Gaia.
everything he owned
Yeah.
to
Yep.
go on the
Except
cruise and
his
try to,
guitar.
like, yep.
Your stereotypical like get up, go to L.A.,
Yeah.
become a musician kind
I
of
loved
Dream
it.
in a
storyline.
suitcase kind of character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
suitcase and a dream. Yeah.
Yep.
And then he's got,
Sandro Disney.
and I didn't realize it and I feel stupid. Although I found a second Fallen Order reference that I'll tell you when we'll get there.
Ooh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know there's another one. Cool. So
the-
his guitar is the same
guitar is
type
1,000% the one Cal played.
Yeah.
However-
So
on
cool.
the Mantis.
On
Until
ours,
it breaks.
It broke.
It broke,
And he
yeah.
used a regular just
A
plain
earth guitar, which is
which
awful.
was bad.
How do you not build two guitars? Like,
That could have been the backup that broke.
I guess.
never know.
Come
It-
on.
Could have been.
It didn't
Did
bother
he
me
play
in the
the
moment.
space guitar the whole time?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
He used
wow.
the same one our entire
Okay.
voyage.
Yeah, he didn't.
Out in the atrium,
he
everywhere.
had it in the atrium with him, and then
At least we got to see
and
it.
at dinner, and then after that, from then on, it was the regular acoustic, which was annoying,
Man.
and it kind of looks weird when he's like First Order. It looks like just a guest.
I know.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It,
But he
it
is a
sounded
guest,
fine.
though.
It sounded
In
fine.
story, he is a guest.
yeah.
So,
So
And they who knows? He could have told somebody, and we didn't hear it, that he borrowed it from one of us.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
we
yeah,
brought
I'm
it.
sure
It's
there's
from-
something like that. He's like, oh, a string broke on mine, and I'm
Yes.
going to get it fixed, and I had to borrow. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did you know he's a Tortuga sometimes?
Tortuga.
Tortuga, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
With us, he had a cap on, but I've seen
Yeah,
other
yeah, he had a
videos with
cap
head
on with
tails.
us, too.
So I'm like, why does he have head tails someday, but not every day?
It's
It's just a lot of makeup. It's
actor
probably,
preference, maybe.
probably when he gets there,
Maybe.
if he's
Do
late
they only
that
make
day.
one headpiece, and they can only wash it once every 2 days? And
I guarantee
come
you,
on.
it's probably like if you show up between this time and this time, we put it on you. If not, then you don't wear it.
Yeah. So in the marketing campaigns, they show him as a Tortuga. But
don't remember him
I
being
didn't
in
make
the
that
marketing at
connection.
all.
It's newer ones they've made recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
to try to make up for the terrible marketing they did.
They did bad marketing for
Oh,
this.
yeah. Even the
After going on it,
better
dude,
videos
like,
are still bad. Even the better ones.
they need to like let us control the marketing because it's what they did. They just chose to highlight the the wrong stuff. Like
Yeah.
they chose weird. Like you should be showing the bridge at hyperspace. You should be showing.
Yeah.
You should be showing Rey with Kylo Ren for a second at the end
Because we know that's coming.
because
so
you know
yeah.
it's coming. So it's not like it's a
You should
surprise.
be showing
You
a
should be
droid
showing-
roaming around.
You should
Maybe
be
they
showing
purposely
interactions with.
Didn't want to overload it at first and let
They didn't
what
want to overpromise and
yes,
underprovide.
and then what we're doing right now, raving about this, saying that we're going to go again, be the
But
second half of their marketing
That's the
campaign.
problem, though. People just stopped talking about it. It was, oh, this sucks, and then it opened, and then nothing.
That's because
So
they're
it's like, why?
Well, that's
jealous
because
pricks.
the reason is because everyone was so convinced that it sucks that now that it doesn't suck, they're not going to go back and say, "Oh, I was wrong. It didn't
yeah.
suck."
So
'cause
that's
they're
what
not,
sucks.
They're not objective.
There is no secondary marketing of people saying it was awesome because the
Everyone
10 people
on that
that are
ship
saying
that
that
we were
have
there
said it.
with had a fucking
Same.
blast.
Same. I did not see
There isn't a
anybody that was
single
looking at their
person
live
I've
and
seen
trying to leave. Like, yeah.
That's done it that says they hated it.
Yeah.
There-
It's
And it-
not a single soul.
You could be a staunch hater of everything Star Wars has done other than the original trilogy, and I guarantee you, if you went on this, you'd have a fucking
Mhm.
blast.
Yeah.
You would have a blast. If
Yep.
if you can't have, it's almost like Disney World. If you can't have fun there's something wrong with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you. Like
Yep.
if you don't understand that this is amazing, there's something wrong with you. It was
Mhm.
incredible. All right,
Because
so what
right after
happened?
dinner, we started to have interactions. This is when we met Sammy for the first time, and we had a really good combo with him. This was the
Was
first
this
time.
in the engineering room?
No, not yet.
We
Oh.
forgot about the Gaia's luggage thing.
Shoot. Yeah. Can I back it up too?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This could be
I
an
hate
8-hour
this.
podcast.
I don't
So
like
your
it.
guys, you guys saw Chewie
Tired.
at dinner sneaking around.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I did not see and know Chewie was involved with that dinner until I watched probably 20 different and some of my own YouTube videos to be like, Chewie was right
Really?
behind me. He was right behind me. Or he was hiding behind my table and I didn't even see him because I was First Order storyline
True.
and Wraith at the point that Chewie was behind us came up to talk to us to have us face Wraith so we could not face Chewie.
Oh, that is tremendous.
And I
That
did
is
not know it in the
awesome.
moment. It took me like a week to
Oh
be
my
like, that's
God,
what.
I love
It took me like
great.
a week to go. That's what was happening. So his storyline, he knew that we couldn't see Chewie, so he had to distract us from seeing Chewie.
Oh my God.
And it was during the dance, when everyone's up and doing the electric
Oh
slide. or
no,
whatever.
Bully McGuire. That was 100% the Bully McGuire.
Oh, Bully McGuire. Yep. So when we're doing the Bully McGuire, he came up and he was dancing with us.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he was like, he saw Taylor's Kyber necklace also, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
this one here is force sensitive, I see. And I was like, oh, she's much more force sensitive than I am. I can't even dance. Look at me. And she can't dance that great, but better than I can because I'm horrible. And he was like, oh, nice. He was like, oh, nice to meet a new ally, right? And we are like, oh, yeah, maybe. And then, like, at that point, Chewie had probably escaped. He
Yeah,
was like, oh,
yeah.
okay, I got to go. See you later. And he had
That's
left.
so
And
awesome.
yeah, so it was awesome to have a cool moment with him, but there's another layer that it's a
I
moment
love
with
it.
him to make us not see a moment with Chewie. Like, it's so
Aw.
cool.
See, that'll be cool when I go full on First Order. Like
Yeah.
I'm selling the fuck out of Chewie. Like Wraith, you can get your ass kicked. Like I'm gonna try to push Gaia down the fucking slide.
Oh,
or
no,
something.
I will never disrespect Gaia. Never.
Ah, screw her.
Your boy Croy loves Gaia.
Exactly.
I
If
feel
Croy
like
loves her, I love her.
She's not returning the favor.
She's kind of.
And they never do.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was bitter. All right, so where were
Anywho, we
So-
had lots of
Any new Gaia songs? Any new favorites? I mean, yes, there were new Gaia
the
songs.
first
Nothing really
two were
stands out to me.
bangers. The
Nothing
first
really
two were
stands out.
bangers.
I liked her entrance song.
Yes.
The one from the terrible marketing with the little kid actor. But
Which so he was in the sublight lounge and then turns around.
it
and
was just where
she's-
they filmed it. They filmed the singing in the lounge, even though they filmed the hallway outside the Corellia,
Yeah.
whatever. But
weird choice. That
I
marketing
loved
campaign is
her
strange.
encore of like, and Ula Shuka. I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
that was cool.
She was like teasing it, and I was like, what's going to be Ula Shuka? And then she started singing it, and I was singing with it. And right? Yep.
I like the
She-
acoustic version. They did
Yeah,
of that
yeah,
later.
in the
that was
atrium,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
cool to hear it acoustically. Yeah. So at the first dinner, I was singing along, and she like came up with and like pointing and like singing with me for like a bar or two, and then she moved on to the next table. But because I knew that song and she could see I knew it, it just was a cool moment to have.
Very
That,
cool.
that might be in my top 10. I might have to move some things around. I don't know.
All right. Well,
But
we'll get there
finally
in
we'll move past dinner.
2022.
Yep, but let's move past dinner.
Yeah, move past dinner. So we had
I
an
do want to say first night dinner was better than second night dinner to me.
I agree.
food
I
wise.
think I think the food was better second dinner, but the entire experience was better
yeah.
at first dinner.
1,000%. 1,000% agree.
Agree 100%.
But the second dinner had its own unique thing, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Briefly, we'll talk about that. There was something that important that did
Briefly.
happen at that dinner. Shut up, Evan. Take a lap.
We're only an hour and a half in. We're doing
That's
pretty
all.
good.
That's
We're
all.
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We're only like 2 hours
we'll
into
see.
the voyage. It's fine.
Yeah. This is when we got missions for Wraith, and we're starting to find out about shit we're doing for them on Bot 2. We got some stuff from Croy on the down low.
Yep.
And then we were back in the atrium before.
From who on the down low?
Croy.
Oh, Croy. Okay.
Yeah, we got to because we got messages from him.
Yep.
And then
a
I
lot,
was
for whatever reason.
a lot. We got a lot at first.
Even
yeah.
though I was still, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not into the first order.
It's
at all.
because I was interacting with him.
I'm going to backtrack one more time to when we met Croy. He goes,
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
in terms of we were talking to each other, he's like, oh, he's like, you're a regional governor. Who are you here under? Who are you investigating for? And I was like, oh, Hux sent me, General Hux. And he goes, oh, nice. Hopefully our reports match up when I report to Colonel Talus. And that's when I was like, oh, shoot, there's a new dude. I got to know
Yeah.
about Colonel Talus. So that was cool.
Oh,
Talos was dope.
I
I'll
like
make-
Talus. He should be in a movie too. He looks like a
100%.
movie dude.
when I learned about Talus, and this was incredible. I told the stormtroopers that I would report them to Governor Talus, and they're like, and they said they freaked out. They're like, this
dang.
is not good, and like
That's
they were
cool.
looking at each other or something.
Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh,
Jesus
it's
Christ,
so cool.
like on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then we interact with Sammy a bunch. I'm gonna mention the engineering room first,
God, I loved.
and then
the
I'll go
engineering
to
room.
us meeting the Saja.
That's fine.
Because we followed Chewie, like out of Crown of Corellia, kind of in that area. Then we followed him and Sammy to the engineering room, and we get around, and there's maybe 10 people with us,
I don't
right?
think it was that many.
And Chewie's he's talking to us. He puts his hand on my shoulder.
There was the girl that looked like Ray that confused
yes.
him.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
He was like he was looking at Sammy,
Some
and he's
guest.
like, "Grr," like looking at her, and then he said something about being related to her. He's like, yeah, a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Chewie was being Chewie.
This was like one of my favorite moments.
Oh,
of
this was
whole-
first time I got emotional because I'm like, I'm fucking standing next to Chewie in like the most Star Wars looking room ever.
Yeah,
looks
this
like
was
it's
the
from
most
the
Star-
Falcon. Like,
100%.
yeah.
It reminds you of.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Falcon.
And like
Evoke-
Sammy,
evoke
you're already
that.
invested in him, and you know he's a Star
His
Wars character.
his story
and you
is
know
great.
he's
I
you
love
know he's
Sammy.
more than a mechanic
E-
at this point.
Even if
yeah.
you don't know his Oga's connection, like if you just know his story
That's
on
right.
the Halcyon, his story is cool. But when
Yeah.
you know his Oga's connection, his story gets better.
Yeah,
better.
it's awesome.
He's so cool.
So we're standing in there, and then the captain calls in on the call box.
Sammy called first.
Sammy called
We
first.
did something.
Okay.
Sammy called first, and then the captain responded, and then the Sammy pointed to you and say, "Can you respond
Can
to
you
her?"
respond to that? And I was like,
Yeah.
what? And it kind of this is when I was all in
Yeah.
because I
Yep.
turned around and she asked a question. It was something to the effect of like, "Are you guys okay down there? Do you need
Do you need assistance?
assistance?" And I said, okay.
Yeah, just okay.
I
Just
said
okay.
the word okay. Because I didn't
should-
hear the first part of
You
the
should have
question.
should have went full on Han. Like
Neither did I.
situation
I-
situation normal. We're okay
I
here.
started-
How
you
are
guys
you?
doing?
I started to.
I'm sure they have a
And
plan for that. I
and
bet that's in the script.
and
Oh
I
my
did it.
God.
I
I'm
did
sure
a
it
joke
is.
about that.
Like everything-
I was
situation
like,
normal.
We're fine here. How are you? But like I stopped myself from doing that fully.
Yeah.
And she responds. She goes, "Wait, so okay as in
You're
yes,
okay.
you're okay,
Yeah.
or
Man.
okay to the to
or
the
you
question?"
need help or something. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, this isn't a recording.
Yeah.
This is
This
real
is
time.
real. Someone's talking to me right
She
now."
could
The
probably
actress
see you.
And
is
that's
somewhere
when I was like, "Oh, I'm in," because like this, it like unlocks something
That's
in my
next
brain where I'm
level.
like,
It's
And
next
it
level.
wasn't
"This isn't
just
a recording." I'm
Somebody. It
responding to.
was the captain.
Yeah,
that,
it was
that was
her
her voice.
voice.
That
It was
100%.
her
same
voice.
actress.
Yeah.
The same
Act of
actress.
Day.
She was like at a comm somewhere, like probably
She
like
was
you said,
probably-
watching
She was probably
us
behind the
behind
wall.
the wall.
Yeah.
That's another
like,
thing too that is small, but like the pictures on your data pad are the exact headshot of that actor. So it
Mhm.
changes voyage to voyage.
It's nuts,
not
man.
just a
That was
blanket
crazy, yeah.
headshot of somebody in a First Order hat. It's like, I guess that's Lieutenant Groy,
It's
but no,
really-
it's
it's
always
really
your
him.
actor.
So we get a bunch of stuff from.
We spent like 40 minutes in here at this point. We spent a while.
That looks
in
like it's
there.
one of the
Was
longer
this when
missions.
was this when we spent a long time in the?
No, we didn't
came
spend a long
back.
time.
We came back after our about 2 days.
Yeah,
and
we
walked around.
we
That's what it
fucked
was.
around in the engineering room
Yeah,
ourselves.
Yeah.
We spent just about maybe 15 to 20 minutes with Sammy. This was our first big thing with him,
Mhm.
and this is when we learned we were going to go to check out the Echelon Forum
Mhm.
on Batu.
How could you?
Look, Brad and I went hard.
I know.
We were
I was with you on Batu.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You knew where we were
did,
everywhere.
We did all the stories except one that they.
Sammy ghosted us, and then we'll get
Well,
to that real
that's not
quick.
his fault.
That's true. It's our fault for doing too much.
That and also their fault for not having the shit in the right place.
I know.
Yeah.
Because that was part of his mission, wasn't it?
Those
So
the
Bracas-
pit droids' heads, right? So you had
yeah,
to scan?
that was
Yeah.
for Sammy, wasn't it?
No, that's for Wraith. Or was it for Sammy?
I think it was for
I
Sammy.
think it was Sammy. Pretty sure. I don't know
I don't
for sure, 'cause I
remember.
didn't do the mission myself, so I don't
Okay.
know.
So anyway, then we're back out in the atrium, and our Saja was very bouncy. But I know I wanted to talk to her. I'm like, okay. I'm like, she's a character. She's not just like a elevated
Right,
team
right.
member,
She's
elevated
not a
cast
cast
member.
member.
I'm like,
Yep.
okay, she's a character.
It also didn't fully kick in that the lightsaber training person was going to be a force sensitive person. Like it didn't kick in my head for whatever reason. And I know that sounds really dumb.
She's not technically force
No,
sensitive.
but like we find out what she is later.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
but I mean, like somebody like it wasn't just like here's a lightsaber. Use it
Oh,
like this.
right.
She's someone spiritual with the force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guardian of the Will.
Yeah, she's guardian of the will. We found
Yep.
out in this
In
conversation.
this conversation.
She's, yeah.
So
mean,
I
that-
went.
Nope.
Sorry, I
No,
went
go
and
ahead.
grab her, and I just. This
we
was
kind
my.
of took her aside.
Yeah, I took her aside, and she's like looking out. She's very anxious, and then I get her up to a point right in front of the elevators. I'm sorry, I'm calling them out of universe, but the
Turbo lifts.
terminal lift. Sure, there we go.
Turbo.
We're sitting there, and I'm like, during lightsaber training, I've always felt a pull to the force, and I kind of always buried it because I felt a pull to the dark side. But things changed in our lightsaber training. Can you help me figure this out?
Well, that's cool that you
Yeah.
did that.
And she was like, okay. And then we start walking to the far side, like hologram. And then I call you over. I said, hey, Saja, this is Pike, my friend who I met on the Halcyon. He feels the pull as well, or he's. I'm sorry, I can't remember what I said exactly.
Something to that
Yeah,
effect.
something to that effect. But I was pulling him in. So she comes over to us, and then she starts talking to us. And that's within the first 5 minutes, we find out she's a guardian of the will. And I just looked at
Oh
Brad.
my
I'm like, did
gosh.
she just fucking say she's a guardian of the will? Like, this is crazy.
Something that only 5 people on the ship are going to understand.
Exactly.
Like, what?
So we're talking about the kyber crystal necklaces that we have on. And
Yes.
as we're
Yeah.
talking to her, out of fucking nowhere,
This was nuts.
This is the part my dick just blew off.
Yep.
It just blew off. I was like, my dick is gone.
What's going on over there?
We're standing there talking to, and the stormtroopers come up to us and go, "What's with that kyber necklace or something?" It was with that jewel. I think they said kyber.
They pointed right at the necklaces.
they
Maybe they
grabbed
just said
it.
that necklace, maybe.
that necklace. It was something, and I was just like, "Oh,
Whatever
my
it was, it was on
God."
purpose.
It was on purpose. And
Yeah.
It was 100% on purpose.
and it's
Well,
also
it was
pre-recorded dialogue,
what
so
we
they
were
have that
talking
made to
about.
say.
It's what we were talking about in the moment, and then we're like, "Nothing, we're good." And they kind of like, and it was like a 3-minute conversation with these stormtroopers, and they ended
Yep.
up leaving.
Dang.
But it was just something I wasn't prepared for.
No, I wouldn't be
I-
either.
I
It's
don't
such a
remember
niche
you-
thing to mention.
Did you
a
tell me
necklace.
there were Saja on the ship?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you did. If you did, I completely.
I briefly
blocked it
talked
out.
about it just because they're lightsaber training, but I
I
didn't.
don't remember there being.
I didn't
force
interact
sensitive.
with them outside of lightsaber training
Oh,
because I
man.
didn't need to, and I dislike lightsaber training so much. I was like, I'm good.
But see, like
Anything
so
with
happy
you,
we
I'm
did
good.
this.
the thing that is cool about it is you can kind of do like 1-on-1. You can be First Order and also work with Wraith for your own good.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can work with the Saja and the First Order and
And the
some dark
Resistance.
side stuff.
because
You can
Saja
work with
resistance.
you
yeah.
can kind of what we were
Yeah.
doing is we were trying to build, and there were missions built into it where you're like working with the First Order, wink, to gain information to then tell to Sammy and
Yep.
then tell to
Yeah.
the Sajas.
Yep.
So
There was a
just-
point.
It's unlimited what you can do with all this.
There was a
and it's
point-
fascinating to me.
There was a point somewhere in the story, I can't remember when, I told Sammy that I was working for the Resistance undercover in the First Order. And he was like, oh, no, this is when we were leaving the engineering room. And he kept you and I behind. And he's like, wait.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about this.
He's like, we could use this.
Yeah.
He's like, we could.
This is when we found out you could go talk to them for more
Yes.
information. You're right.
That's right.
Man.
Because like everybody left and he just kept us. I forgot about that.
I
See,
forget too.
Jesus.
There's so much stuff
There's
that
so
you
much
forget
stuff.
some things, and the things you're forgetting would be like the best thing ever
By the way,
outside of the ship. Like in it,
I want to apologize for the podcast we did on the ship because we both sound like two complete mental patient idiots.
I don't want to
I
apologize.
listened to
about
it.
that.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just going, it's great.
But I also could relate to it because I had
we were
that
also
moment
dead
too. That you
tired.
had.
At that point, we had been
We just
playing
wanted
for
to
12
do it
hours.
because
it was
I just
cohesive
wanted
though.
to do
I
it.
followed what you guys were fine. It was good.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
were fine.
Okay, I haven't
So-
listened back to it yet. I just remember sounding like I felt really stupid.
So all this, we held some deep ass conversations, and Brad and I were at this point starting to get super pumped about going to Batu,
Mhm.
like because we're like all this shit we have to do, and then when we were finally done talking to the Saja, and it was just us, it was her, you and I, and then the troopers walked off. It was very apparent that because we were looking for old Jedi artifacts, that this was going to lead us to what we wanted to see.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It was apparent at this point that this was the storyline.
And that's kind of when we dropped everything else. And we're like, let's just focus on the Saja.
As you
we,
should.
we started it up once we got back to Batu. But
your boy Tom was still working on the first order.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was.
As you should.
I was
blame you.
talking to Croy a lot on the data
Gotcha.
pad.
I didn't
He's
see
so
all
much
that.
fun to talk to.
But I agree. I
Yeah.
loved his character was my favorite by far.
Easily.
God.
Easily.
Yeah, by far. So is that the end of day one?
No, that's not the end of day
w-
one.
We, you and I had bridge training that day
That's
one,
right.
buddy.
That's
And
right.
then there was
Yeah,
still
we
the
did.
closing, SK thing.
Oh yeah.
So
I forgot
let's
about
just
that.
let's fly
Yeah.
through bridge training real quick
Bridge
because
training was fun.
it was fun. It was why don't you give your favorite because they were all different consoles.
There's
there was
4
like a
different
shooting, a systems
Shields,
console,
Shields, comms. It was Shield, comms,
shields console weapons, and
like the basic like an engineering. I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was called, Evan?
I do
It was-
not
it
remember.
was
I
the
don't
grab
remember
and
any of
grow.
those stations except loaders and weapons and
loaders.
shields.
That was it.
That's all I remember.
Loader, shields, weapons, console. So
yeah.
you did something on the greater screen, and then Sammy eventually shows up, takes over, becomes part of the story. You jump into hyperspace.
To Hoth.
We saw Hoth,
We
yeah.
saw Hoth because you're gonna. Did you see Hoth?
I did not see Hoth.
Yeah, we were orbiting over Hoth.
I'm looking up some of my schedule so I can keep it straight.
Okay.
Because I didn't
So-
bring my notes because I didn't know the timeline of tonight. But
We light speed to Hoth because Sammy's trying to repair something that we can send. At this
Yes.
point, it's pretty apparent that Sammy.
Oh no,
is
he reveals that he's a spy
he's
in
a spy
bridge training.
because there's a mission where you have to go find like the ship log, and you see that there's a character.
He's not
Yeah.
on the log.
There's someone that's not on the log.
No,
and it's like
yeah.
his name.
Croy
is,
asked us to do
Croy
that
asked
for
us to
him.
do it. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Croy asked us to do it, and you see there's an inconsistency with the ship log, and you find out that it's Sammy, and he's a spy
And
on
Croy's
the
like,
ship.
huh.
He's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So then we go with him, and his whole thing is he's trying to get didn't we like fight a probe droid or a first order probe droid,
yeah.
which is a new thing to canon?
no, it's in
No,
Rise of the
but-
Resistance.
yeah.
When it works.
No, this looks different than the one in
Well, it's a
Rise.
different. That
It's-
one's
it's
for
still
in
a probe
space.
droid,
It's a
though,
probe
yeah.
droid.
It looked way different.
It is. It's
It
a
had like
different class.
these pointy.
But
Yeah,
yeah, we had to
pins.
fight it basically.
There are some
Way to
of them.
fight it.
It's like a more of a sentry. It's more like
Okay.
there's some in the TV show Resistance. So
Thankfully, Brad
Oh,
and I
crap,
were
you're
on.
right.
Brad and I were on the weapons when we had to blow shit up for
Yeah.
real, so that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then getting the Resistance comm tower thing, whatever, to
yeah.
repair
Oh
was
yeah, that's
fun,
right.
because somebody screwed it up really
You
badly.
remember that guy? It took him like 20 minutes
yeah.
to get the fucking.
He's like, grab it. No, press this button. Sammy went and helped the guy.
He did. He's
um,
like, over there. Oh, you got
but
this.
Of the
Ah,
4
Sammy.
stations, my favorite were the Shields one. We had to like play the Pong.
Shields
and
was
stuff.
Yeah,
fun.
Shields was
Shields
crazy.
was fun.
It was like an Atari.
But my favorite one was the one with all of the buttons.
the Falcon Engineer,
Yeah,
basically,
but
but
like
better,
on
but
st-
much
this
better.
is what that should have been.
Yes.
Where you have like switches that light up, and you have like a like they should go back and work on that, because this was cool. You had this big panel of all these buttons and switches and stuff, and things would light up, and you have to light them up in a certain order and
Match what the screen
match
told
what
you
the
to
screen
do.
what it told you to do. And it was so fun figuring out which each thing did, and
Yeah.
that's 100% what engineering should be. They should factor in like the little switches on the Falcon.
Yeah.
That would be a really cool way to. Like,
they have that
plus
screen
up.
too, and the screen even shows like this segment.
Yeah.
So you think you have to do in that
And
order,
it takes
but
a
you
second.
don't.
It
on the
takes a
Falcon.
second to know what you're doing on
But
that
it's-
thing.
it
But once you
has-
figure it out, it's really
It
intuitive.
allots that
and fun.
time for you to gradually
Yeah.
get yourself into it.
It was a lot of fun. So that was our bridge training. That was really, really fun. I highly. Well, you don't recommend it.
And
You kind of were scheduled for it.
I
We
forgot
got
I
a
had Saber
incoming
training night
transmission
one, so I had
from
Saber
From
training.
R2 and C3PO. Did
Mhm.
you get this?
No, my
Okay.
bridge training was different, and my second bridge.
We
thing
had.
was
I bet
different.
you we had the
We
same.
did the
second
same
bridge.
second
We
bridge
did.
as
That's
you.
true. We did.
Yeah,
You told
we
me
did.
we did. Yeah.
Which was fine. It was kind of cool to do something different.
Oh,
the
that
First
was
Order.
fun.
But I missed seeing all the X-wings and stuff like that.
I was alright.
I missed the fact that we can't shoot X-wings, but they can shoot TIE fighters. So they can kill people, but we can't kill people.
Oh, we have a funny thing to say.
It's
about
fine.
God,
about
that was hilarious.
It's fine. We can't kill people, but
We'll talk about that when we get to
Yeah,
it because
yeah.
I agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, because
I want to shoot Poe Dameron right out of the sky,
Ugh.
and Greg Grunberg right out of the sky.
He's dead. Rest in peace to the legend.
so we got a lot in bridge training. Then the final event of day one.
The
I
big
feel like a lot
story.
happened, but it all led to SK getting duped by Sammy.
Yep.
Getting locked up in the restraining bolts
I love that.
I did
because
too.
Croy. Yeah, that was fun because it's just a way to charge him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
how
that's
you're
all
gonna
it
charge
is.
SK overnight until you need him for the next show.
But it's sad because you walk out and he's like still up there. The
They
next
leave
day.
him
You're
there
like- you're like,
overnight. I love
Overnight,
that.
you can get up at
And-
2 a.m. and he's
And Croy says that.
SK.
He's like, we're leaving him there as an example
As an example.
for any of you others that choose to resist.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's more fighting and that pretty much closes day one. Brad and I after that
Went to Sublight Lounge.
went to the Sublight Lounge.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of margarita pizzas.
So good.
So we had
Those
a
are
couple
really
of Coke
good.
Zeros because I think I was done drinking at that point.
I didn't drink much.
Yeah,
The second day we did more drinking.
a
We'll-
little
we'll
bit,
get to
but
that.
yeah. So and then we just went back to the room.
Did the podcast.
We were checking a few things out, trying to see as much as we could.
Let's talk about the room real quick while we're here. The room is not as small as I thought it was
No.
going to be. Everyone was bitching about how small it was.
It's the perfect size, honestly.
It's
Yeah,
not
that
like-
was fine.
For more than two people, adults, maybe it might be a little stiff in there, but I didn't have an issue with it whatsoever.
If the three of us all went together in that same room,
We'd be fine.
We'd
We'd
fine.
be fine.
two in
Yeah.
the bunk,
Not
and
a
it
question.
fit you
Yeah.
comfortably, and it would fit me comfortably.
There's enough restroom boards. Like
And
you have to
Evan's
pee and
like
someo's showering.
half of
we'll
each
be
of us.
fine.
So
Yeah.
wait, what?
There's enough
No,
restrooms
what?
on the ship. Like if
Oh,
you
yeah.
if you have
Yeah.
If I had to
go
like
pee
go
while
dupe out
someone's-
or dump out, just run.
it would have been fine. But yeah, that's basically day one.
Mhm.
Did you like day one or day two better?
They're very distinctively different.
They are.
I think I like day 2 better. I don't
think
know.
I did
It's so
too.
hard, though.
I mean, it's like saying, do I like it
I'm gonna
99.99% or 99.9999%?
Right now, right now, putting a gun to my head, I'll say day one because I met all these awesome characters.
That's fair.
So it's just.
Yeah, that first reaction
Yeah.
of the ship too was.
So
really,
then
it's
Brad
really
and
cool.
I got no sleep.
Well, now, with my ending of day 1, I also had lightsaber training. I didn't have bridge training yet. I had bridge training and then the bridge mission twice in the same day, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
yeah,
But
that's cool.
My
That's
night
super cool.
ended lightsaber training and dinner, of course, and then Croy capturing SK. But before Croy captured SK, we got that message from him about helping him capture SK. And we were sitting in the Sublight Lounge, and SK was 5 feet away from us when we got that text. So I took a picture of the data pad with him in the background of Croy being like, "We need to capture SK," and I'm like, "Got him.
Yeah.
He's right here. I got him."
Did you tap your magic band, SK?
I did not, but Taylor did.
Did he back
and-
away?
Oh, he did the scared R2 shake and
Yeah,
the scared.
yeah. I love it.
And then he backed away.
Yeah.
And shook his head a little bit. So that was cool.
Um,
But Croy,
What did that do?
I think that was just it. I don't
it
know.
just makes him react to you.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
it might play into like Linka's trust of you too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's so close to Linka.
Yeah, I noticed that our familiarity with Linka changed when I scanned.
So
I bet it's connected. Yeah. Because she says SK is her right-hand droid.
I like that the magic band didn't like. It's not a other than like the terminal. I forget what they call them, the comm terminals, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
It
And your
wasn't-
droid panel in your room.
Yeah, it wasn't like scan this for that. Scan this
Every
for
5 feet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because they could have just scanned open doors and crap. And I'm so glad it was just all.
Oh, speaking of doors, the way every door opened on the Halcyon.
Yeah.
God, so Star
So
Warsy.
It's taken me a little bit to like not open them like that now. Have you done that yet?
No,
Since you got home.
no.
Well, like I
I did
told
it
you
once
guys,
in the bathroom.
Oh my
I tried to
God.
open the door. I was like, oh,
it's
oh,
a
regular
normal boring door thing. But like it takes like 2 or 3 days to get used to normal entertainment once you get back.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch a movie or a TV show or YouTube or anything when I got back because it
I
was
went
just boring.
straight from there to Hollywood Studios and had a terrible waitress at Mama Melrose.
I don't know if going to a theme
don't
park
know
would
if
have
she was
been
terrible.
a
It
good
was just-
thing for me, but because I was like, this is boring. I can't watch TV right now. Like, it was sad.
It's so overwhelming. Like,
It
it's just so insane.
So I think there's 2 instances where like Croy approached us and was like, "Hey, get ready for this cool thing that we're about to do. First Order are doing something like." I think this was one of them where he's like, he sprinted up to us. Yeah, because we were in the Sublight Lounge, and that's when he ran over to us and he's like, "I have great news for you two." And I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Thanks to your guys' efforts, we're about to capture SK or something like that." So He's like, just stick around in the atrium and we'll show, whatever,
that's
a
cool.
show
That's
of power,
awesome.
whatever
That's
he
cool.
said. But that was basically, end of night one.
Yeah, that was the end of night one. And then Brad and I kind of officially ended our night before the podcast by listening to D3's tale of the Star Wars story from R2-D2 and C-3PO's point of view.
He hated D309. It
Well,
didn't bother me at all.
She didn't bother me one bit. I thought that was a cool part of the room.
It was great.
No, like her
She
voice
kept me up for
and
30 minutes.
Her voice and personality was awful, but her technology is amazing.
I don't think her voice was
So-
awful.
I couldn't stand her.
Did you get the part where, like, the First Order trooper?
Yeah, I thought
Like
they
called
actually killed her, and I'm like, good. And then later in the day, it's like, I survived, and I'm like, oh, nice.
He didn't shoot her in our.
No, because we
you
said we
you
were
gonna
resistant
kick him in the
scum.
head.
Yeah, I said I was going to kick him in the
Yeah, I
head.
saw that. I saw it in the
Yeah.
video.
Are you in room 5227?
You're like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that,
like,
that was crazy.
What do you think? What are you gonna do to stop me? And he's like, I'm gonna
Kick
kick
you
you
in
in
the
the
head.
head.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's either really bold to say or really foolish.
Or a foolish one.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if Gina Carano can punch him in the head and they die, I mean, wearing helmets.
Well, so can the Red Rapture then.
Yeah.
That's right. Her
Because
and I are
helmets
built
don't
about
do
the same.
anything in
Jesus.
Star Wars. So there you go.
That's true.
Okay, we'll get to it, and we talked about it already, but it's not necessary because it's not that big of an issue. But my headcanon for Kylo's voice being awful is this is his attempt at rebuilding his helmet because he destroyed
Oh
it
my God.
in The Last Jedi.
Hold on. I'm going to stop
It's
here
not
real
canon.
quick. and
That's just how I rationalize
I want
it.
to throw it out. We're at the end of day one. Do we want to continue or do we want to save for next week?
I want to continue, but
I kind of want to continue just to be
yeah.
done with it. Maybe we do
Alright.
our top 10 next
I was
week.
just,
that's fine with me.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
I like that
Okay.
idea.
We'll do
That's
part
why you
one
get
day,
paid the
big
day
bucks.
1
There
and
we
day
go.
2, and
Yeah,
then we'll
Because
do
yeah.
because it'll give people a chance to
Do
hear
all
the
of
story
it.
fleshed out, and then they can hear our top
Top
moments.
10
Yeah.
moments.
I like
yeah,
that.
I
Sounds
love
good.
that.
Okay.
And we'll be doing that next week with Kyle.
yeah.
from the fourth Mother Box. He
yes,
will be
we
His
here.
will.
top 10 Halcyon moments.
No. I don't want to hear that.
I told him, I said, you should cancel your trip and go do this instead.
Dude, yeah.
Cheap ass, he wouldn't do it.
It's probably not. It's
You
got to be
gotta
close to
do
the
it.
Oh, wait,
same.
oh, after the flight and stuff?
It's
Wow.
got to be close to the same. Dude, for what he's...
Kidding. Kyle's not a cheap ass.
It has to be
Yeah,
close in price. That's the thing. Like, when you're coming... It's expensive for us because we live down the street, and it's kind of hard to justify spending $5,000 for 2 nights when you live down the road from it.
Now it's not.
That's
I mean, I'd do it
exactly it.
again.
But
Well, I'm
now,
1,000% doing it again,
now
but
too. But it's kind of hard to go like, oh God, okay, I'm gonna be right here in this parking lot at Hollywood Studios. Like, it's
I really wonder
But-
how much it would be
Yeah.
if like the four of us went. Like,
let's
per
price
person.
it out.
Yeah.
I'll call on Monday. I will.
Do it. I would love
I'll
to.
ask.
I'd love
Do
to.
it. Do it.
Once I get back from Celebration, I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Do like December,
Ah.
so we can
Whatever.
save.
Yeah,
Don't give me hope.
It wouldn't take, dude. If it's that less, like it wouldn't take that long to save.
Oh, that's
solo
true.
per
Yeah,
person. If it's less than this
But
cost,
I would need to get
it
like
would take a
him
while.
fully on board, you fully on board, me and Kyle.
Yeah.
You say
know.
the word, I'm on board. You, me, Kyle, and Evan on the ship.
All right.
Fuck.
I'll
yes.
right.
100%.
Yeah. Now
Done.
now that we're talking out
Done,
loud.
dude. I'm getting fucking
yeah,
jazzed
yeah.
about it.
Now that we're talking about that out loud, I'm like,
Yeah.
That means I'll probably
Can
end up
4
doing it
adults
like
fit-
4 times.
Can
Yeah,
4
'cause there's
adults
a pull
fit
down
in the,
bed.
But like,
yeah,
I know
pull down.
we
Kyle's
can fit.
getting the pull down. Yeah.
I know we can all fit, but
Yeah.
does Disney allow 4 adults? That's
Yeah.
that's more my
Yes.
question.
Yeah, they
do?
don't
We
care.
could
As
do
long as they
4 in
get
a
money,
cabin.
they don't
Done.
care. As long as it's
Because
paid.
then it's $5,000 for the
No,
cabin,
no,
right?
no. Because
It does go up in
it
price.
does go per person. Because don't forget, you're paying for food,
Yeah.
experience.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's not per room, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it
but
does make it cheaper.
Let me call and ask.
Find the
I
price,
will
and I'm
call
in.
and ask.
That would be so much fun for all 4 of us to do together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Brad and I barely slept.
I got 3 hours of sleep the first
I
night.
was trying my damnedest to sleep with
I
the
think I got
window
like 4
up.
Oh yeah, this is a minor complaint too. Yeah.
I tried.
He had the same complaint you did.
I fucking tried, and I just said I can't, and
That
so
light
I
is
had
way
to shut
too
it. It's
bright.
bright. It's
very
bright.
bright.
That's such an easy fix.
I mean,
Just
like Brad was
change
in
the
the
light
bunk,
so
so
you
he could
can't-
turn. You could turn your
It
back.
didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Man.
And
I was also so tired I didn't give a shit.
so
So-
was I, but it bothered me.
You were way closer to
Yeah.
it than I
Yeah,
was, though.
I was.
Yeah, a lot.
So
Man.
I just
By the way,
shut
the
it.
bunk beds totally fine. I'm
huge.
6'3".
They're huge.
I had room at my feet for it. The only complaint is it's a little hot because there's no airflow going in
Yeah.
there. But
True.
other than that, I mean, like, who cares?
Yeah.
That's one of my complaints above the ship overall is I felt like it was a little too warm the entire time. I felt like I was
get that.
sweating the entire
That's
time.
true.
But we're running around. B, we're in long sleeve shit the entire time
Mhm.
running around. So
Yeah.
So
maybe it
we
was just us.
get up, crack.
Because other people said that they were cold.
Oh, that's
Remember
true.
At the dinner, they
Yeah.
were like, "This is freezing." I'm like, "How the fuck are you freezing? I'm sweating."
Yeah.
We were moving around a lot. Yeah.
Is this the end of day 1?
That's the end of day
That's
one.
the
All
end
right.
of day 1.
So that is the end of day 1. On Wednesday, we will be continuing with our day 2 conversation of the Galactic Starcruiser.
There we
So
go.
make sure you download on Wednesday so you can hear all of day 2. And day 2 has some stuff going into it. And it was my favorite day personally. So we'll get into that in just a little bit on Wednesday. So thank you so much for listening. We will see you guys on the next show. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you. Tabuite.
Always, and good journey.
Rise, Jedi Knight, courage to the end.
And may the stars keep you.
Oh, you slut.
Together as one.
To booty titty say.
Tabuite say.
Rufalek.